evening. As always, we are just outside of Boston, Massachusetts, and this is Just a Concerned Citizen with the Massalorian, and we are about to go live with all of you right now. Good evening, guys. Tony.
Yo. What's up?
How you doing, T?
I'm doing good. Kind of another busy day, Mass. Been waiting for documents to drop all day, and they just fell in my lap. We got hot off the press information for you guys tonight. You're gonna be ahead of the game. There's gonna be a flurry of videos from everybody tomorrow. Woo! We're still.
Just so you guys know,
not even
Tony. I'll say Tony. The Davids from the plaintiffs and the I have the plaintiff, and what have
we've got the defendant's brief and the plaintiff's brief, both which were just became public, that were due today.
Wow, and it's a lot of documents, guys. A lot
of information in here.
Yeah, let's say hey to some people real quick. Start from the top. Hey, what's going on, my friend? Punchy Nuts, Trader Anonymous, DGS Dufresne, good evening, buddy. Trevor, Jason Nielsen, Savvy, hey. David, good evening. Nick Weber. Looks like Al from Boston found out how ape was created, says Ryan. Jack Wolf, good evening, buddy. Corey Jones, good evening. Tony, tell people to stop buying Mullen. M-O-L-E.
I've been trying. I've been trying to tell them.
How did what did it close at today, by the way, T? Do you know?
$1.50 or so. It had a little rally towards the end of the day.
Okay. Corey, good evening. John Touchpad, Sir Hoddle Hodlington, Apes Blazing does stuff. Good evening. Auto Mags and Carlos Mercado. T, did you see where I left off? Do you want to pick up? Keep going.
I was just going to shout out the members of my channel that I see here. Savvy, Trevor, Punchy Nuts, Anya. Who else we got? Other regulars in the house. Scott K, Shauna, Jason, Jeffrey Roche. What's up? Go ahead, Mass. We'll have more people dropping in as they know we're here.
Yes, we will. Backyard Boogie, good evening. AA Aaron KYP, good evening. Chad Clifford, what's up? Almost Batman. How you doing, Chad? Good evening to you. Udip, Dada, Phil Haynes, Sue Davis, Big B, and Diver Down Reefer, Chris King Callis. Good evening, everyone. T, the hat is awesome, says Jack Wolf.
Thank you, Jack. What's up? How you doing? Jam Bam's in the house.
Yeah, we got Anything Goes, Billy, Kane, Ellie, good evening. Anya T, how you doing tonight? Alpha 2 Omega. Rick, Michael 1, what's up, brother? Jam Bams, hope you two are doing great. We hope you're doing great as well. Acefa Mahari, good evening. Hope I pronounced that right. Hope I didn't butcher that. Rick, good evening. That's an easy one, R-I-C. As compared to Asifwa Mahari. I hope I got that right, man. Falana. You got the miracle. You got the notification on time. I remember last time you said you didn't. Good. Charlie B, good evening. And who else? I think we got everyone, T. R.A., good evening. Do you want to start with the documents? Do you want to start with what we just got over the press?
Yeah, before we talk about these documents, can I tell you a couple of other documents that it's not really worth going over, but just to catch everybody up on what I've seen crossing the documents that were filed. One funny one is, our friend, your other buddy up there in Boston, Al.
Yes.
He filed a motion.
Yeah, my friend.
He filed a motion to have Shlomo, what was that guy's name? Shlomo Kapman or Kasman? Did you?
Castman, yeah, I think so.
He filed a motion to ask the court to compel Twitter to reveal the identity of Shlomo Castman, which I just found it humorous. That was a separate motion.
I mean,
Al's going to get to the bottom of who Shlomo is.
I know he's going to be writing to Elon Musk next, saying, "I need access to this." The Twitter files.
Yeah, I mean, the only
Twitter files 2.0.
The only way you can unearth that is to have a legal order. So he's doing what he needs to do. But I just thought that was like, of all the things we got going on right now, that is the one that he's writing letters for. Other updates today, the plaintiff, Allegheny, filed 2 motions to dismiss Al's motion to intervene, and the other one, Justin, I'm going to butcher his last name. What is it? Afhotter?
Hold on.
Hoster. Anyways, Allegheny filed 2 letters asking the judge to dismiss both of those motions to intervene. We're still waiting on the judge to give an answer, and I have talked to Mr. Tuttle, not recently, but I did talk to Chance, a lawyer, today, and said, "What's going on with Tuttle's motion?" And she said the judge still hasn't provided an answer. That one's been hanging out there for a while. Of every letter that I've seen, including Allegheny, which I called a kindergarten motion, Tuttle's was the most well written, and that, you know, he was early in the game. Long before Allegheny even filed, he was complaining. So I think that's why the judge is giving his more consideration, but we don't have an answer on his yet. And just to summarize why the plaintiff, why Allegheny is recommending that these Al and Justin Afhotter be dismissed along with the other one, Mr. Iacono. It's all for the same reasons. You filed too early, which I tried to help you guys, saying wait, but they filed too early. They weren't represented by counsel, and they're bringing up things which have nothing to do with the case, which is also something that I've mentioned. Like, if you want to object, make sure you're legally objecting to the settlement. And this is not me talking, guys. This is Allegheny saying to the judge, these guys are bringing up things that have nothing to do with what we're suing AMC over. Like, this has nothing to do with this case. So that was Allegheny's words. Don't hate on me. I'm just passing on the information.
Right. Yep. That's what I got. Just real quick, say that. Oh, I was telling you that they have the list here. The first subheading on this preliminary statement, or the first page, anyways. It says. So I'm just going to read this one quote. It says, "Instead, defendants weaponized their power to issue blank check preferred stock and massively diluted their common stockholders. Plaintiffs sued, alleging that defendants' capital structure gamemanship was inequitable and breached their fiduciary duties. Plaintiffs hope that unless companies facing imminent bankruptcy must take radical action to save the enterprise, and this is highlighted, no company engages in such a heavy-handed and improper abuse of power." Wow.
Are you reading from the plaintiff's brief?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go through the
It's a little better
defendants.
written.
Yeah, I bet it is, because they've had a month to think about it now. Let's go through the defendant's brief. I'm not going to go through all 41 pages because I haven't even read all of it tonight just yet. And then, so let me run through that mess, and then you can read through the plaintiff's ones, and we can talk about Project Popcorn. Someone already tweeted me that earlier, and we've been theorizing here on this channel about. I didn't know it was called Project Popcorn, but we've been theorizing that the idea of ape was hatched long before August 2022. You guys are going to want to stick around and hear all about Project Popcorn and why they did it. But Mass, let me do
I can't believe it's called that.
yeah. I think they did that just to needle Lou.
You would think
Let me
with that name.
let me do a screen share here. All right.
There we go. There we go.
So this is going to be quick because, if you already hate me, this is going to make you angry. I don't want to antagonize anyone. If you have been listening to my channel, everything that I highlighted here is the same stuff that I've been telling you and my thoughts, my opinions. But now you're going to hear AMC say it in their brief to the court. And I think this kind of justifies isn't the right word. It lets you know that I'm not just fear mongering. I'm not trying to get people riled up. I'm not just making shit up. Uh, everything that I'm about to read is stuff I've been telling you, and I get it. You might not like it, but this is what AMC has to say here. So, um, they talk briefly about in the beginning of the document, how they years back in 2021, how they were not able to raise cash because we voted it down, or we were going to vote it down, and that they needed to come up with a way to raise cash because by their forecasting, they were likely to run out by the end of 2023. That was AMC's forecast. And the very first thing they say at the beginning of this document is one of the main things that people have been mad at me for saying: if this settlement is not approved, AMC will be forced to continue using a inefficient or significantly discounted method to raise capital, APE. And worse, if AMC were left without any security to raise capital, like if the lawsuit were to say APE was illegal here in the orange, the company would be put at significant risk of failing to meet its financial obligations beyond 2023, which would likely result in bankruptcy. Now, that's a concern I've been bringing up that I've had by looking at the financials here. You're seeing AMC say that exact thing. I know there's tweets about concessions and they have a boatload of cash. Yet I don't fucking believe tweets, first of all. And I wish, we shouldn't give too much credence to tweets. We should go by what we can see in filings. And that all that evidence has been there. And here they admit it. Skipping down, they talk about the Blasius argument that the plaintiffs had. And they just reiterate that the plaintiffs stood little chance of showing that the AMC board creating APE was a breach of fiduciary duty. And we've already gone over this many times, and the plaintiffs have already admitted that they weren't going to win on a Blasius claim. The board acted in the best interest of common stock and sought to manage the company's balance sheet. Plaintiffs also claim that the defendants, AMC, violated 242b2. That AMC saying that is a fundamental misunderstanding of the statute. Again, something I've been saying that Allegheny just did not understand. And I know Mr. Tuttle, he and I have talked. He also says that I'm fundamentally misunderstanding it. I asked him to come on the channel. He said, Tony, if I came on your channel, it would be like me talking to a kindergartner, Tony. The invitation's still open, Mr. Tuttle.
Why?
But he did say that.
Holy smokes.
I have it in it. Which, I'm not offended by. I'm confident in my due diligence. And the fact that Allegheny in their letter, I'm sure when you get to it, Massalorian, you'll find the part where Allegheny says, we realized that we weren't going to win on 242b2. Despite the strong arguments, defendants AMC agreed to the settlement because it is important to get this done as soon as possible. That's the summary of that. couple of other things. Given AMC's financial condition, the current cash burn rates are not sustainable, and there are no guarantees that AMC will be successful in generating liquidity necessary to meet financial obligations beyond 2023. Again, they're reiterating that, and it was in the 10K. Here's the citation here at the bottom. It was in the February 2028 10K. Again, not my words making shit up. It's in the defendant's brief, and they also disclosed that in the 10K end of February. Unless revenue and attendance levels rise, the failure to obtain enough liquidity through equity capital would likely result in bankruptcy, in which case everybody goes to zero. And again, guys, if you're tuning in and you don't like that they're saying this, you think they're lying, that's fine. We're going to go through the plaintiff side. Massalorian is going to read it to you. I'm just telling you the company's position on this. Given that AMC was not able to secure additional common stock, APE was the only tool available to raise capital. I think, let's see, this is just a lot of, I think I got down to about page 31. Here, Allegheny does not dispute that the AMC board was independent with respect to deciding on all these issues. Like, a lot of people are saying this was it was a plan to help the hedgy buddies. Like, AMC has a independent board, and Allegheny does not dispute that the board is independent because, and they do not contend, Allegheny does not contend that the board acted in bad faith. The creation of APE, the Antara transaction, and the charter proposals all served a legitimate business purpose that the company appropriately disclosed and communicated. And there can be no disloyal scheme when the board is making well-reasoned business decisions to secure the financial future of the company. Now, we talked about this, like, just because it's legal, does that make it right? And they kind of talk about this here. It is, of course, true that inequitable action does not become permissible simply because it was legally possible. And I think that, it's good to have that talk. Like, okay, so AMC could legally do it. Was it right? I hear you. That's a good question. And they go on to say, did I make it this far in this document?
Yeah.
I think they go on to say that they had a business reason for doing it because they were worried about cash. The claim is premised. There's more talk about 242B. We already talked about that a second ago. That's as far as I made it in this document. Massalorian, if you want to take any questions, I can skim through these last couple pages to see if there's anything worth talking about, and then you can move over to the plaintiff's side of the story.
Sure. So there's a couple things going on in the chat right now. Address couple. First is back in the box office. And someone's saying it's only going to affect TV shows. I don't think that's necessarily true, right? Because the Writers Guild is across the board, right? It's movies, TV shows, everything, correct? As far as I know, right?
It is everything, but like a nightly TV show is going to be immediately impacted. Movies that are being filmed, that's a multi-month or multi-year process. So if the strike only lasts a couple weeks, it's less of an impact to a movie than a nightly TV show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like yep. Who are all those guys? The talking heads, the
Jimmy Kimmel,
yeah,
Fallon.
Those guys are immediately impacted. Then the weekly shows are next. Movies are further down the food chain as far as immediate impact.
Right. So Yeah, guys, I wouldn't worry about that too much for the short term. Now, if this, persists for months on end, well, we need to have a conversation. But right now, yeah, I'm not concerned about
Hey,
anything that's already in production right now is good. Yeah.
did you see that those writers are going scorched earth on Netflix?
Yes.
They're
Yes.
calling they're
Yeah. People.
calling for people to cancel their Netflix. I'm like, fuck yeah, we finally got someone on our side, the writers. Screw
Yeah, I
Netflix,
know.
man.
I really, I'm telling. I have a feeling deep down in my bones that the streaming wars. I mean, it's not gonna was saying it was gonna do to the theater industry. It's just not. It can't replace it. It's just they're two different things so far that I've seen on the streaming services from the major IPs that are out there, right, are terrible. They have all got like absolutely decimated as far as getting ratio with the trailers. I mean, just the Cleopatra show that's about to come out, I think like this week. It was 350,000 downvotes to, I think 10 to 1, um, that didn't want, that disliked the video, disliked the trailer. And that is every time they do this, and they know they're doing it, right? It's not some big secret that they're pushing an agenda, obviously, or some people on the streaming network are. I don't know if it's the people up in the C-suite, who it is. They know what they're doing, and they understand that they're pushing an agenda that might not go over well with everyone. But it seems like at least since the start of 2023, people are actually starting to put their foot down with their wallet on certain, whether it's beer companies, movies, streaming around. I think they have 1,000 votes just completely cancel the Netflix series, not even air it after it had all been filmed and produced. Uh,
Damn.
Amazon spent $1 billion on an episode on Lord of the Rings last year. Complete failure. Complete failure. They got no money back from that. They don't have any sales from merchandise or anything like that. People just completely rejected it because it was a spin on the Tolkien world of 2020. Nobody wants to watch a show about J.R. Tolkien that was based on ancient English mythology and heritage and culture in a 2023 platform. That's the Lord of the Rings fans. That is not what's going to get them to watch your show, and they are feeling it. Just look around the layoffs right now. 7,000 here. People laid off a quarter. I mean, I just think the streaming wars are over, and clearly the theaters aren't going anywhere, and they're definitely not going anywhere because of Netflix or Disney Plus or anyone else like that. So, hallelujah to that. We can get rid of that conversation for good.
I just finished skimming through the last. I'll read it through more in detail tomorrow morning. But the only other thing really that I noted is there was a couple paragraphs on the non opt out thing, and I don't really, I don't have it's not something I really care about. But AMC made the argument that it is obviously the court's decision if it's a non opt out case or not. But they made the argument that there's long-standing tradition that cases like this are non opt out, and that they're asking that it be non opt out. I don't even really I haven't put a lot of thought into why it would matter or not. But I mean, so it's not a hot button issue for me. I'm just passing on the info.
Got it. Get it? I'm just trying to read through some of the comments real quick. Jason keeps saying my mic's screwed up. Is my mic screwed up, guys? I think that's the second time I saw
I
Jason
think it's
say that
just
your mic sucks.
it's dropping a little bit, but not as bad as it has been
Okay,
on previous live streams.
it's true. That's always a step up for us. Mr. Heedy says, hang on.
Hey, Mass,
I'm slow here. Yeah.
when you're streaming by your, alone, Do you have those issues, or do you think it's like a restream thing, or a dual
No,
streaming?
no, I have them when I'm alone. The only time I don't have any load, I never have issues there, obviously, because I'm not using any internet thing. But
Yeah.
or but um,
hopefully wherever you end up next, once y'all sell that place, you can get a more squared away internet service.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope the next place will be a little better for the price that we're paying. I know I was talking to T earlier for sale and everything, looking to go to, and that's something I definitely got to take into consideration. Can't have that issue.
All right, do you want to start going through the plaintiffs and see what we can find about Project Popcorn? Did we lose Massalorian?
So T,
I thought we lost you for a second.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You did. You know what? I just realized that I had my Movavi video editor open. I'm wondering if that was
Okay.
yeah, causing some issues. So hopefully we're good now. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay. Now I can't see anything on my screen. Can you hear me, T?
Yep.
Can you talk for 1 sec? I'm just loading my page. Sorry.
Yeah, let me see what is in my comments. Blazin says your mic is clear but intermittently cutting out. Sounds like a bandwidth issue. Pamela, what's up? Pam the Trader. Annie T, good evening. Thor Bladed, what's up? I'm surprised Massalorian didn't say anything about the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. I thought you'd be leading with that.
No, man, I'm so disappointed. I have a very strong Jon Favreau is, and he was the one hope I had that I'm going forward. Being great movies again, they're going to make tens of billions of dollars, and since they just did, so Disney just had their their Cinecon or whatever. Star Wars had it last maybe 3 weeks ago in England, and yeah, they announced it's going to stay on as the head of Lucasfilm. They are doing their next project with Daisy Ridley, an episode 10 with Rey, which, I mean, I'd say 75% of the people that are Star Wars fans have no interest in going to see anything of that storyline again after they completely just, had a sequel trilogy. They went into it with no plan, changed directors multiple times, changed producers multiple times, writers, fired people left and right. How have they talked, not got deliverance on? And I mean, it was not. I think that was he's in the show, and I think they're in a lot of trouble. Marvel and Lucasfilm are their two biggest IPs, along with Pixar. And look at the box office results for all three of those companies, three of the biggest IPs in the world. and they are completely blowing it. I'm in shock and awe of what is going on at Disney with all these companies. It's really crazy. Everybody's saying the mic is way worse, T.
It was for a second, and now I can hear you clear.
Okay. So did you hear what I said about the whole, like the whole Lucasfilm, Marvel, Pixar IPs with Disney?
Well, I mean, I was able to figure out most of it, but there was a lot of buzzing in between the words.
So I think Jon Favreau is out at Lucasfilm. He was the one thing that I thought, he was the one guy who I had faith could bring this back, like the George Lucas type Star Wars, not this, new Force is female. And I think when they killed him off Mandalorian, that was almost he's Lucasfilm. I don't see why else they would have done that. And just the way the storyline went last season, it didn't make any sense. The way things are in 3, I don't even think didn't even seem like Jon Favreau had worked on it at all. It was like a complete different story almost. And that was a big wake up call for me when, they made those announcements and said, hey, we're going with this. They fired Damon Lindelof after they hired him for a year to work on a project. A week before Star Wars Celebration, they laid him off, but kept the same writer and made this big announcement for Daisy Ridley. And it was not, she did not get a warm reception when they made that announcement at all. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy did the whole time, but when they announced that the next film was going to be with Daisy Ridley, Rey's character, I mean, it sounded like a wet fart in the room. It was terrible. So that's got me a little nervous as far as their IP. They create a lot of money for the cinema industry. They are a big entity with Marvel, Lucasfilm, and Pixar, talking about 3 of the biggest movie IPs in the world, in the history of the world. I mean, those films, how many films that they've made have grossed over $1 billion. Just, T, they re-released Return of the Jedi this weekend. It was the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So they had adding 1A. It did I think it did 5 million in limited release over the whole country. AMC should have had Return of the Jedi in every theater instead of whatever shit movie they got in there right now, making no money. I don't know. That I was very mad. They made $5 million in the limited screenings, and I didn't see them at any AMC theaters. Regal had it. I saw a couple at Cineworld. I'm sorry, not Cineworld. Regal, and what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was.
Cinemark.
Capitalizing on, yes, thank you. Yep. Why isn't AMC capitalizing on that? They had sold out theaters in every place that it. That should have been a no run with it. I haven't had a Star Wars movie since 2019. It's been 4 years. Anything's better than nothing. Jason says no one wants to see that. It's way too old. 5 million in lanes. I think it only on 80 screens and did 5 million. That's unbelievable. That says level. It's cheesy. What kind of theater do you have? Is it an AMC theater? Because it was not at any of my AMC theaters around here. Not one. T, do you have some more stuff?
No, I'm done with the defendant's brief. So if you want to pull up the plaintiffs, and for everybody that's mad at me for covering the defendants, we'll do as we always try and do, talk about both sides.
Do you think? Do you think
there's going to be
20 get a bunch of shares drop? What?
I was going to say there's going to be 20 channels going over the plaintiffs. There probably won't be anybody except us going over the defendants. So I'm always happy to talk about both. But if it sounds like sometimes I'm leaning towards one, providing you the info, it's because no one else covers that side. Are you still there? Are you locked up?
Yep. Here. Nope. Looks like 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 attorneys.
74 pages. The plaintiff's brief is. Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. 7 attorneys. Dated from today. Pull this up real quick. One thing that so talked about. Okay, let me go with this right here. March was distributed. Quarterly expected apes to trade close to parity with common stock, which I think me and you echoed, right? We got that wrong, but we did say that we thought that those two would kind of follow each other after the split, right?
Yep.
Thus, while the common have, because of the issuance of the apes, the total value held by AMC investors as of the distribution should not have materially changed, absent further ape issuances. So I think they're saying here that whatever was before the split from AMC to should have those two should have, or that ape attract with ape and lead plate, right?
What page are you on? What page are you reading from? Because we can't see the document.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. God damn.
I think it's probably worthwhile to it's probably worthwhile to start off reading the first couple paragraphs on page 1, the heavy hitting shit.
Yeah. Okay. I can do that. All right. Pull up a new window.
Everybody that's complaining about the audio, welcome to the Tony and Massalorian show. He knows. You don't have to let him know.
I've tried everything, guys, to fix it, and I just don't have the money to buy a whole new audio set. I don't.
We think it's your internet, Massalorian, not your
I do
computer.
Too. That's what I think it is. No,
he's gonna move, because guys.
On the uploads,
he's gonna move to make you happy. You just
gotta
be
internet.
patient. Let him fucking move. Okay.
No, he just moved months ago, but moving because remember, T, last year when I was in Hampshire, we didn't have this. Not ever. Never was it a real problem. No.
Never go full Rhode Island.
Live for your die.
Never go full Rhode Island, man.
Big mistake. It's like going full retard. Don't go full retard. Never. Al from Boston is shorting mass section. It probably. Oh, in the float. Good evening. How you doing tonight, PD Harris? Hey, bud, I'm trying to pull up on my computer. Is it maybe because I the other? What the fuck is going on? Let me make myself small. Yeah, I got a shit connection right now. I can see it.
Well, hello there. How y'all doing?
All right, hold on. Let me video.
He made himself disappear. That's a good trick.
I'm gonna try to turn it.
I'm not in charge of anything tonight, so I'm just along for the ride.
It is not T. Trust me.
C-Flow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in
asking,
standard
is
definition, 480
his
at 30
computer
frames per
hardwired?
second.
I think it is. I think he told me it was. He's on 14.4 baud. Lordy, I remember those days.
Someone said, Tony, can you say what Mass just
I remember
said?
when upgrading to
Since you
14.4
can hear.
was a big thing.
Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, Norvon, I need for better internet. Yes.
That was a big deal when you could afford to buy. We're getting a 14.4 baud modem.
We're moving up in the world.
Massalorian,
Right.
they say you sound great right now. John was on CompuServe. I think I had my very first was, I think, Prodigy. I never had a CompuServe account. And then I had, the ubiquitous AOL dial-up. Mr. T, if you can't be nice, you're going to get kicked out, or you can just see yourself out the door. Mods, go ahead and take care of him. We don't mind you guys having different opinions, but if you can't compart yourself in an adult fashion, we have no problem kicking you out. Someone get rid of Mr. T. All right, I got him. Sayonara, bitches. Guys, just be adult, right? Everybody's analyzing this play from different viewpoints. We can all have the same goal to make money in this damn play and hope for a squeeze. And there are going to be people that explain to you what is going on in this play different ways. If you don't like it, don't watch the channel. If you can't be an adult, we're going to get rid of you. I have no problem doing that, and neither does Massalorian. We don't want to censor, but if you're going to be a jerk, tell us what your disagreement is. But when you're insulting, then that's, the line gets drawn there. You're going to drive me to drink, and then I'll start insulting back. We certainly don't want that again.
You had a
Yeah, Mr. T.
I think now. Does that sound better? Am I skipping anything?
Still skipping a little bit.
I don't know. Fucking Christ.
Who really wins in the lawsuit? CB asks. Nobody. Nobody wins. I mean, even if there's a settlement, we're just paying our fucking selves, right? There are no winners. If you sold your ape early, like $6, $7, $8, $10, and you get a little payout now after the settlement on AMC, I mean, you could say that's a win, but we've crunched the numbers many times. Just my financial analysis is people that were able to buy ape really cheap and then hold them all the way through are going to come out the best. I think Stephen or Grandpa, someone who looked at the spreadsheets with me, correct me if I'm wrong. We analyzed a bunch of different scenarios, like who would come out the best. Not to devise our evil plan. This was just like a couple days ago. The plans were made a long time ago about how everybody was going to play this play. But we were just like, hey, well, everybody's got a different plan of attack. Let's just run some numbers and see, making some guesses of what's going to happen on price, who would come out the best. And if you're buying ape right now really cheap, or you bought it even cheaper and you hold all the way through, that would be the best financial outcome. Just looking at pure, numbers, not talking about squeeze or anything else. Florida Marine says, where are we on timeline? People that want to file a letter of objection or show up in person, you got to get your letters in. Now that these briefs have been filed, please go read them, because it is important that you read the defendant and the plaintiff brief. Read those, write up your letter of objection. You got till now, May 31st, to get that in. You mail the letter of objection to the plaintiff's attorney. And if you want to show up in person, you have to file some form with the court. Other than that, we're going to continue. The court is going to continue moving towards June 29th and 30th as the hearing for the settlement. The plaintiff's attorney and the special master will be reviewing any objection letters that come in between now and the end of June, making recommendations to the judge. The hearing on June 29th and 30th, they said there'll be a telephone line where we can listen in. And then we expect that the judge is going to not do a bench ruling, according to what she stated, and that she'll issue a written opinion at some point after the end of June, which I'm just going to go on a limb and guess that that will be sometime in July. But don't hold me to that, because the lawyers said they can take 90 days. But the court is mostly shut down in August, so we think it'll be sometime in July that she'll push out that written opinion. She can approve the settlement. She can request modifications to the settlement based on objections or her interpretation of the case. I'm pretty sure, just my opinion now, I've said this twice, I'll say it a third time, 99% sure everything will go through just as is, but the judge has the option to reject the settlement or change it. So that's why I'm not making a lot of moves right now in terms of stock. I'm not going to recommend any moves to you. There is legal uncertainty, legal risk for the next 60 days. So I can't really tell you. I could tell you the wrong thing. You got to make up your own minds. We'll know a lot more tomorrow when we get the earnings in the morning, how the next couple months are going to go.
Has anyone even mentioned that in the comments yet about earnings? Should we talk about that a little bit? Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I've already done my video on what I expect for earnings. I did that a few days ago, and we'll find out. We'll find out if I'm close or not. And Cinemark is releasing their earnings in the morning too. So we'll have a lot to unpack tomorrow. I know there's been tweets about, we have plenty of cash, yada, yada, yada. Guys, I don't decode tweets, and I certainly don't believe most of the tweets. So I believe my DD. I did see in the document that AMC said that in 2023 they made $75 million off of Antara. Remember, I had said off of Ape. I was trying to guess how much extra Ape they had sold. I think it's a little more than 75 million, but we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow what the cash looks like.
75 million off Ape. That's such a small number. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. If we're facing a 150 to $250 million loss, it's not enough, but we'll see tomorrow.
What do you think?
Go ahead.
I was going to say to you, what do you think would have happened had we just given them, how many shares you think they would have needed back in late 2021 to get themselves at least, like, what do you think it would have taken back in 2021 so that let's say maybe right now we'd be half 2.5 billion in
10
debt.
million shares
How
at
many
40
shares do you
bucks.
think? Yeah,
10 million.
4 billion, right?
Uh, or is, how many did they have available back then? Do you remember? Or how many was he asking for?
So I think they wanted not 500 million, right? Was it 500 million?
Two,
I'm afraid to go look, T, because I don't want to lag.
50 million shares at 40 bucks would have got them 2 billion more dollars or another 2 years of life.
Shit. God damn. Fuck. Man, looking back now.
Looking back, we were dumb, but
Man.
I was against the reverse split. You guys probably remember back in 2021, I was against it, but that was 2021 and we had 2 billion in the bank. We thought we had them on the ropes, that a bigger second squeeze was imminent. And I came out against the reverse split. I don't like reverse splits when companies are loaded with cash. But AMC was actually smarter than me in 2021. They knew the forecast of, probably not getting back to pre-COVID levels on box office till 2024. And so they were making actually the right call back in 2021, and none of us were focused on being in this play in 2023. It was short-sighted, and I was against the reverse split in 2021. And look, we had a shot at another squeeze, and it didn't work out, and now here we are. And maybe in retrospect, we I don't know that I would have done anything different. I would have rather just cut them off in 2021 and roll the dice that we got a second squeeze, but we didn't. And now we're here. Now we're here in 2023. So what are you going to do?
Would you say this, T? Would you say this just now became that we gotta start looking this as a long-term play? Just now, right? Because I agree with you. You know that.
I mean, if they dilute, I think everybody with common sense knows that it's going to be harder to squeeze. But on the other hand, we got Q2 is going to be very positive, I think, on earnings. The float will be lower initially. We don't know how soon he's going to dilute. We don't know when he's going to announce it. We don't know how many shares. What if, Massalorian, he does the reverse split, drops the float by a factor of 10, announces a blockbuster profitable Q2? What if? I'm just saying.
Calls.
I'm just, there's a lot of different possible outcomes, and I'm not smart enough to tell you exactly what's going to happen. The Chicken Little people, of course, are going to focus on the worst possible outcome, and I'm not ignorant of all of the outcomes. I've thought through all of them. I just don't know which one it's going to be. My plan, therefore, is if the price drops because he does more dilution than we want, I've got cash available to buy more shares. That's my plan. And because I think 2024 is going to be great. And if they can load up on cash, even though we'd prefer that he not, and they don't waste it on something dumb, then the company could be well positioned.
I really hope they don't do that. That will make me really upset, man. I hope they don't waste this money. I hope they put this to the best use in order to, I mean, you got to spend money to make money. I get it, right? But I want a little more security for the long term. Like, I know they're going to be fine now. I get it. They're not going anywhere. That thought is, and I think when I first started my channel, I said that, like, there's a lot of speculation right now that the movies are on their way out, but they have said that every time in the past that some new media platform came along, and they've all come and gone, and the movie stayed up there, right? Now, like you said, after this, let me ask you this, T. What is the other alternative catalyst that we would wait on? Let's say that this doesn't happen. What would be the next thing we could look forward to that would have any possibility of sending this into a short squeeze?
I
Any
mean,
ideas on that?
it's typically an influx of liquidity, like what happened in 2021 when everybody was flush with cash and the price was really cheap and it was easy to bid up, and the shorts were pretty heavily loaded into the play. But the other reason that usually makes things run up is some good news catalyst. But you know that AMC's on a double-edged sword right now. Like, even if they had good news, like they had a good quarter, if the next 2 quarters are not expected to be that great, you're not going to get a lot of price movement. That's what GME is struggling with right now, right? GME just had a profitable quarter, but everybody's not really believing that the next few will be like that. If you're wondering why GME didn't squeeze, even though they posted a profitable quarter and they got plenty of cash and no debt, because no one on Wall Street believes they can pull it off multiple quarters in a row. That's just the facts. So they need to demonstrate a couple more quarters of progress to get the shorts out of the play. That's the challenge AMC has. We've got a lot of debt. We're running low on cash. One good quarter isn't going to be enough to scare the shorts out. You got to do a few back to back. You got to demonstrate a track record that you didn't just have a great quarter. You know, one great quarter is not enough when you got all these other things weighing against you. Ryan said, "Why did you vote yes if you don't know how much he's going to dilute?" Because I can read the cash trajectory, Ryan, and I've done the analysis, my analysis, based on projected box office for 2023. We're going to lose money this year. We're going to burn cash. And obviously, I hope I'm wrong, Ryan, but we'll find out some more tomorrow. If I'm just completely way off on the video I did last week on Q1, then I'll do an update and tell you I was wrong. But my financial analysis says that they're going to be dangerously low on cash by the end of 2023. And we all know what happens, Bed Bath & Beyond, Mullen, when companies run low on cash versus the obligations they have. Easy short. It's an easy short for Wall Street. No fear. They're not panicking on those companies. Not panicking one bit. Your idea is you want to get rid of the shorts, right? They're not panicking on AMC right now. Get AMC's bank account filled back up in 2 more years of life in the company. They're gonna have something to think about. Still with us, Johnny? I can't hear you. I see you moving. Ian says, "I'm here for a squeeze." We're all here for a squeeze, my friend. We're all here for the same thing. It sucks being the guy to try and tell you both sides of the story, but somebody has to do it. Don't ever for 1 second think that I'm not on your side, that I don't want a squeeze also. But I think it's immoral at this point where we're at to not warn you, just like I made videos warning Bed Bath & Beyond people in August of last year and again 6 weeks ago that company was going to file bankruptcy. Just like I warned people a month or 6 weeks ago about Mullen. I can't just put blinders on to the potential downside on AMC. And if you don't want to hear that side of it, just don't watch my channel. That's fine with me. But some people want the full story. I mean, you want to be a good investor, you got to be able to look at all sides of the risk, not just the pie in the sky side. I'd love the pie in the sky as much as y'all would. But I fully analyze the plays. Johnny, your mic is on mute if you're trying to talk. See, Massalorian messaged me. He chatted. He said, Dean asked for your read on GME. Dean, did I answer your question? I own some GME, and I'll buy some more under $18. But I think, I'm not going heavy in GME right now. I sold a couple weeks ago at 24.25 on the run up, and I just started buying back in. So I think they need to prove themselves out over the next couple quarters. That's where they're at. I don't have anything bad to say about them, but Wall Street's taking a very patient view before there's any chance of running the price up. I think they're going to have to drop some really good news to make it move. Having cash is great. Having no debt is great, but you got to have back-to-back profitable quarters, and then you might be able to find some positive price momentum on GME, but beyond being stuck in this channel that it's stuck in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Before I forget, I just want to ask the community or anyone out there, has anyone heard from Grandpa Barney recently? Is he doing all right? Does anyone know? I haven't seen him anywhere.
He sent me a message. He sent me a message in Discord this morning.
Okay.
Early, like 5, 6 a.m.
He's all right? Is he okay?
He's usually up trading because he's on West Coast, like in Washington. So 3 a.m. for us, 4 a.m. for you is like 1 a.m. He's going to bed. He's already looking for plays. That's the last I heard of him.
I know.
Heard from him.
Okay. So he's okay then. He's fine, right?
He was this morning, yeah.
It's all that matters. What are your thoughts on that, T? About the squeeze will only happen in a bull market?
I don't know. I mean, we see squeezes every day in other stocks or run-ups. Not every day, every week. You know, something is moving. You got to have everybody behind it, and a low float sure helps. Andrew says, "Where is Bigham's?" I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a couple months, but I saw a tweet from him today that said he'd be live tomorrow. Dark Latin says GME needs to do something to innovate. Yeah, I mean, any good news announcement from GME, you could get a nice start of a pop there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for back-to-back profitable quarters or some transformational announcement.
I know you just answered that question, but I just want to say that I think going forward, we're going to continue to see, and that is what's going to be the continuation of this bear market that we're in. That's my thoughts.
Anya asked, why did AMC go up today? I think it was, Anya, I haven't been analyzing all of Antara's plays. Antara probably had some play they needed to get out of, so they let it run up. I don't know how much Antara is manipulating the price, but between people making plays pre-earnings and retail, look, I mean, you got people like Ants Trades and 100 people on Twitter saying, I saw some guy on Twitter today say that I expect in the morning AMC is going to announce that they have 1.5 billion in cash. I'm like, there's some really illogical expectations out there, and if people are reading all of this stuff and believing it, they're going to bid the price up. So I can't really tell you what's going to happen in the morning, but I get a little fearful if the news is just meet expectations, I'll tell you what I think is going to happen tomorrow. If it's just meet expectations, the price is probably going to come down. But tomorrow, what I really think is going to be the exciting thing, and it's going to be earnings versus outlook. You guys know what I'm talking about? If AMC's earnings just meet, which meeting is about 920 million in revenue and negative 16 on earnings, but outlook can change the direction of the stock in a good way. If if Adam Aaron comes out tomorrow and says, all right, our Q1, we knew it was going to be a little slow. It met our own internal expectations. It met analysts' expectations. But here's what we want to say about Q2. We are going to fucking rock it. We're going to rock it, not rocket. We're making money hand over fist. We're anticipating positive cash flow, positive EBITDA. In fact, we're anticipating positive earnings. If you get that kind of outlook tomorrow, I don't know if he'll say it because we're only 1 month into a 3-month quarter, and we don't know how well Guardians of the Galaxy and some of these other movies are going to do. Pray to the gods, both old and new, that they do swell. But if the outlook is good tomorrow, that could light it on fire. So I hope he talks about outlook. I hope he talks about retail popcorn and sways Wall Street. Retail's already swayed. He doesn't need to sway us. He needs to sway the analysts.
And just, I just keep reminding myself, don't forget what this stuff can do, right? We've seen the potential a couple times where we've seen, 1,000% gains in a couple days, right? 2021,
Damn it, Massalorian. We can't even get one complete paragraph from you. You drop off. Try going audio only, Johnny. Broke Ape says 1 for 25 reverse split is why Mullen changed. I'm gonna keep on repeating what I think. Like the Mullen's problem started long before a reverse split, guys. The reason it was trading at 76 cents is because they have zero revenue. They have current liabilities 3 to 4 times the current assets, which means they need to dilute the fuck out of that thing. They're burning hundreds of millions of dollars of cash. They burned 300 million in cash last quarter, and they only have 60 million left, and they need to tool up, buy parts, hire staff to build all this shit. And I'm sorry, but 1,000 bands is not enough to cover all that. It's just not. And all of these announcements they're coming out with, there's no 8Ks to back up anything they're saying. I think that was just a lot of hype because they knew it was about to happen. And a reverse split just delays the inevitable slide that was already underway. They need actual tangible financial results to turn the tide. It is unfortunate, but a lot of people think Mullen is a great company. Mullen is a company that is losing money hand over fist, that has potential if they could ever get in mass production. But don't let any fucking YouTuber tell you that it's a great fundamental play. It's an absolute train wreck right now. It's a speculative play. It's a hope play. It's a gamble. The financials are an absolute train wreck, and that's not me being mean. If you don't believe me, take their latest 10Q to your CPA.
T, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna try to do a hard reboot real quick. Okay.
All right.
So give me like 5 minutes so I can do a hard reboot. All right.
Yep.
And I'll jump back on.
I do.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope. Yeah, I do own some Mullen at 10 cents. So I'm not anti Mullen, but I recognize when I went in it that it's a complete gamble. So all I put in it was, if I lost that money, that'd be an afterthought. I wouldn't even lose one wink of sleep over it. That's how little I put in Mullen. And that was a gamble on good news and then retail FOMO. Frank says, let's please stop talking about Mullen. Yeah. The only reason I even bother to talk about it is because people ask, and there are YouTubers putting out videos saying it's a great fundamental play. Even today, yesterday. I don't know. Their idea of good fundamentals is cheap price. You know, if that's who you're listening to, you're going to always lose money. If an analysis of good fundamentals means it dropped from $18 to 6 cents, you're going to blow up your portfolio. Order the ape conversion, James. Good question, because I know there's still a lot of confusion. I'll run through that real quick for anybody tuning in, and I still see people that I respected on Twitter not getting it. And it is understandable why people are confused, because they keep on changing the way they explain it. But they keep on changing the math the way they explain it. But it's been very consistently said in every document, it's a 1-to-1 conversion. So for every ape you have, you will end up, for every 10 ape you have, just like for every 10 AMC, when they combine, they'll drop down divided by 10. So it's going to be a 1-to-1 conversion. But the order of events, AMC is going to split 1 for 10. This will all just basically be instantaneous, I think, as far as we are concerned. But if you want to know like what's happening in the computers, AMC is going to split 1 for 10. So if you have 1,000 AMC, you'll drop to 100 and the price will go up by 10. They'll take a quick snapshot, because if you owned AMC right before the reverse split, you're eligible for the payout, the settlement. So they'll take a quick snapshot, and then they'll determine how many shares they got to dole out for the settlement. And those will head your way. And then they have to convert APE. But keep in mind, APE is still not split, and AMC was. The only way to do that is to convert APE at 1/10, 1 divided by 10. So you smash down APE by dividing it by 10. That fraction is confusing a lot of people right now. So you're gonna condense APE by a fraction of 1/10 and then convert it over. It'll be a 1 for 1. Hopefully that makes sense. Philip says, please explain why AMC can only squeeze in a bull market. I didn't say that it could. I don't know if someone in the chat did. I just said that we see price run-ups on different tickers every week. It's easier to run up when you have a lower float and you can get everybody piling into one play. You get that FOMO momentum, which then gets the shorts in trouble. It's easier to squeeze when you have a good news announcement to create that interest, to get retail moving, or big institutions to move into the play. It's easier to squeeze in a bull market when big money is not leaving the equities market. Right now, big money is not interested in playing stocks because the interest rates are so compelling other places like treasuries. And the risk in the equities market is high. The big money is not really wanting to play in the stock market. So in a bull market, big money is going to pile back in. That's just how interest rates and inflation work against the stock market. I probably had some questions about that there definitely were questions on that exam I took, the SIE exam on Monday. How do interest rates and inflation work against the equities market? Doesn't mean that you have to be in a bull market, but it certainly helps. CB, I saw your comment on Paramount's earnings. I did not see their earnings. Drop me a note on the comments after, or I'll try and remember to check them tomorrow. I'm going to check Cinemark's tomorrow. I'll try and make a mental note. I'm making it right now. Put it on the top of the stack, push it down. Any assembly code programmers out there know what the fuck I'm talking about? Back in the day, I went to assembly language. Who even knows what that is? And who even knows what assembly language is anymore? Philip says there's a caption right below you. All right, Philip, let me read. It says a bull market helps, but if AMC removes their debt and turns profitable, they would rise regardless. Yeah, I don't think AMC is going to pay off the debt. Let's get a couple things out of the way of what I don't think. I don't think that a QSIP change forces shorts to cover. We've seen way too much evidence for that, for anybody to believe that. I've never thought that a QSIP change forces shorts to cover. I don't think that a reverse split forces shorts to cover. I don't think that the conversion of APE forces shorts to cover. So everybody I have a lot of evidence saying this over and over for the past few months. Paying off the debt would be good for the balance sheet, but I have also been saying for a long time, it's more important. It's about the balance sheet, really. And I don't want AMC to even think about paying off the debt till they have a year or two. I'd prefer 2, but I'm ultra conservative. 2 years of cash burn on the balance sheet. So let's say $1 billion to $2 billion. $2 billion would make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside because I don't think they need $2 billion. But if they get over 2 billion and they want to pay off some debt with that, then I'd be okay with that. We're not spending a lot of money on interest payments. 80 million a quarter. We can survive on that and then worry about the debt when we're really raking in money. 2024, 2025, we can start whittling away the debt. But everything really is dependent on how many shares he dilutes, what price he gets, and how much money they pull in. If they pulled in 4 billion and then paid off 4 billion in debt, we'd be right in the same problem we're at right now, low on cash. So I'm not a big advocate for paying off the debt. I'm more advocating build up the cash. That is way more critical than paying off the debt right now. Just my opinion.
If you can hear me, I agree.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Way more important. Okay. I don't know what's going on with this thing. This is nuts. I can't get a chat overlay. There's no I can't even see the chat right now. It's not even putting it up on the screen for me.
Well, I can read some questions. Why don't you? Who has a question for Massalorian? I've been talking a lot, and I know a lot of y'all hate me, so let's let Johnny talk for a while.
No, none of that. I just want to. I can't even see the goddamn comment section at all. None of it.
How about on your YouTube? Can you pull up your YouTube chat? Pop that out.
Let me try that.
Is Grandpa Barney in the chat? I see people saying hi to Grandpa.
It's probably pulling our leg.
Okay, let's talk about while Massalorian's trying to pull up his chat. Project Popcorn. Thank you, Doug. We were trying to get to the plaintiff's document, and that is it's 70 pages, guys. I just got it right before we came on live. But Project Popcorn. So we have been theorizing in multiple live streams over the past few weeks, maybe the past few months. I don't know. You guys remind me. How long have we been theorizing this? That the idea of ape that plan was hatched a long time ago, and now in the plaintiff's brief, they touch on it that around February of 2022, AMC started doing the analysis that they were going to run out of cash by the end of 2023, and they enlisted the help of Citigroup to come up with a legal a plan that they could raise cash, because look, you got to have 50% of outstanding shares vote to increase common stock, and they weren't going to get it. And we know that from the votes in 2021, the sentiment in retail overall is very anti-dilution. And even the most recent vote, only 187 million out of 519 million voted. So AMC knew they weren't going to get enough votes to raise cash on common. Their financial analysis told them they were likely to run out of cash by 2023. This was done back in early 2022. So they enlisted Citigroup to come in and advise, what can we do? We're worried about this. There's no allegations that I could see in the plaintiff's document that this was done where did all this come from, guys? They looked through board meeting minute notes, emails, every shred of documentation that AMC had. It was about a concern about cash and bankruptcy. And so they hatched this plan, which got coined, I think, by Citigroup. But again, I haven't had a chance to read the whole document. They called the plan Project Popcorn to create a Series A preferred share. Series A being the first time that preferred shares have ever been issued. If they ever issued any more, those would be Series B. If they issued more, that'd be Series C. It just goes like that. It's alphabetical. And that was a plan to have a way to raise additional cash using the blank check preferred stock. And so that's how that all came about. So it started early in 2022, the thinking about this. And we've kind of bounced that idea around that they came up with this plan long ago. And when we talk about me trying to figure out what does Adam Aaron mean about checkmate, I think he's known for a long time that they weren't going to go bankrupt as long as they had a way to raise cash. Now we're stuck, right? We're out of ape, and people are trying to say it's illegal. And if the judge rules it illegal, then AMC's fucked. Like we went over in the beginning of this live stream on the defendant's brief, and in the latest 10Q, they're telling you, this is AMC's words. They're worried about running out of cash this year. Forget about tweets. Forget about Adam Aaron's tweets. I don't fucking like tweets, and I will not decode them. I don't believe tweets, and I want you not to believe tweets. You'd be much better off in your investing life if you ignore all these damn CEOs. All of them tell you what you want to hear. You'd be better off deleting Twitter, as far as I'm concerned, and just looking at filings to get the real idea of what's going on. Little Mr. Hellbiz, Salvatore Palella. Oh, we're trusting the plan. Meanwhile, he's diluting the fuck out of people. If you read the filings, all these guys are liars on Twitter. So that was Project Popcorn, a plan hatched in early 2022 to give the company the ability not to go bankrupt. That's in it in a nutshell. I'm sure, on all the other channels, it's going to be called illegal and end run. It was an end run around retail. Absolutely. We've talked about that too. They knew that retail wasn't going to approve more common stock, and they were also legitimately worried about running out of cash at the end of this year. So they made a business call on the best interest of the business. CEOs do not care about retail. They care about not letting the business go bankrupt. And that's just me being blunt. I'm not trying to make anybody hate me, but time after time, company after company, you're going to see that happen. They're trying to save their business, and you will be fodder if you can't accept that and see it coming. And I'll keep on being here to read the filings and tell you what's coming. This was not coming in 2021, but now we're in 2023.
Yeah, unfortunately. Alpha to Omega says, Broke Ape, I'm new to investing, just a bit frustrated, brother, but I do understand just a lot of YouTubers selling hope and no facts. Yeah, man, that's been going on for a long time, Alpha to Omega. Long time.
Philip says,
Good.
by not letting the company go bankrupt, they do care about retail, just not in the way retail thinks about it. I mean, I've said that, like, they are doing their fiduciary duty, but a lot of people have a different definition, and you can define it however you want, but the court is talking about it right now, and you're about to find out what fiduciary duty is. It's fiduciary duty, first and foremost, is not to let the company go bankrupt, because then every shareholder, including the institutions that own it, will go bankrupt, and that is not good financial stewardship of the company. They don't care about a short squeeze. They care about not going bankrupt.
Yeah. That's how we get the shorts off our backs, right?
Well, ultimately, that is how we get the shorts off our back. But in the short term, for a short squeeze, that's not right now their concern.
Oh, no. Definitely not. Nope. And I don't think I can get upset with them at that, right?
Well, I mean, I understand why people are upset. Let's say that, right?
Me too. I get it. Yeah, I get it. It's not lost on me. Those facts are not lost on me. I
But
get it.
this
I do
happens.
get it.
This happens in company after company. I mean, look at Bed Bath and Beyond. They were convinced everybody was working in their favor. Meanwhile, the filings showing that they're diluting the fuck out of it because the balance sheet's fucked up. No, they're not working in your favor in Bed Bath and Beyond. They're trying to save the company. Mullen's doing the same thing. Hellbiz doing the same thing. Genius, Finger, they're GTII. They're all doing the same thing, trying to save their company. And you are just literally cannon fodder if you're jumping in front of that.
Yeah. So T, I got cut off earlier when I asked you about that. What do you think will be the possibility of another catalyst? And I think you did say, what did you say? You said earnings after Q2. Is that what your answer was? That would be the next thing
I
you'd be looking
said
forward
that
to?
tomorrow morning, if he talks about Q1 just meeting expectations and yeah, we lost some money, but then let me tell you about Q2. Let me tell you about how we're going to bank some cash, have profitable EPS, maybe popcorn sales. You know, he has the opportunity to talk about outlook, right? You know how we always complain about GME, they never give any outlook.
Right.
Adam Aaron has the chance tomorrow to spin a really good outlook story, which could outweigh whatever happens with Q1 earnings. And I pray to God that he does. I hope he does. That could be a good news pop for this stock in the morning. Talk about outlook, Adam. Give us some hope. Some hope, not just pulled out of your ass, but like, what are you seeing? They know the finances of how April went. Tell us how it's going. Tell us you feel good about Q2.
CB says, what time is the call? 7:30, I believe, T, right?
Yeah.
7:30 Eastern?
7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern.
Oh, okay. So an hour before market opens, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I'll be
Okay.
live at 6:30 Central in the morning. We can just hang out. I don't know if they're going to drop the press release right before the call, but I'm going to come on early just in case. And if AMC doesn't, we have Regal we can look at. Sorry, Cinemark. And if neither one of them drop, because Cinemark's in the morning too, if neither one of them drop, maybe we can look at Paramount in the morning. I haven't looked at Paramount's financials.
Oh, I thought someone said in the chat earlier that Paramount had their earnings today. No?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Oh,
I was busy watching for court documents.
that's right. Rivlock 489 says the fact that no one can find AMC popcorn at Walmart easily is a great outlook. T, do you have any updates on that on your local area? Because I still don't have it at my
I still
damn
have
Walmart.
5 bags and 5 boxes, so I'm not going to be going back to Walmart anytime soon. And again, I'll say,
But you got
anyone
got it at your Walmart, right?
We did, but I had to drive to multiple Walmarts, Mass. Even I always check online to see if they have it in stock. And I immediately drove there. The shelves were wiped out. And
Good.
it probably updates once a day, their inventory system. So I had to drive to multiple Walmarts to get what I have. And every single one of them was either sold out or almost sold out. So on the one hand, it's good. On the other hand, the supply chain of popcorn obviously is not yet cranked up enough to meet demand. And I think that'll be resolved over time.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, right? That should be something. I mean, this is the first time they're dipping their toes in this, right?
Trader says it's like the COVID toilet paper scare.
Jeez, remember that? It's crazy.
Anyone who is in Central Texas, if you're in the Austin area and you want a box of microwave popcorn, I'll give you one. Just hit me up. I don't need 5 boxes.
Evolved Radio says, I'm suing everyone at this point, not financial advice.
Sue them. I want to sue them all. What are you going to sue them all? What are you going to sue them for? Emotional damage.
Emotional
There's
damage.
An old Jerky Boys. There's an old Jerky Boys tape about that.
Yeah, what was that?
He was like, he wanted to sue the dentist.
Yeah, that's right. He said he pulled his pants down while he was in the dentist chair. Yeah, that's right. Pulled down my pants. Yeah. I remember.
What do you want to sue him for? Everything.
Yeah, everything. Punitive damages.
Punitive damages. That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
For punitive damages.
Punitive damages.
Frank,
he knocked off my
Frank
glasses.
Rizzo.
Yeah. I come down there. I start work tomorrow.
We would play that shit on rewind and just be busting up laughing.
Oh my God. That was one of the best ones with the car mechanic. He's like, I come down, I start work tomorrow. He's like, what, buddy, I got to hire you first. He's like, I'll come down there and wrap a ratchet around your head. Oh my God. That shit was out of control. It was good. We've got to play that someday on a live stream and laugh at it.
We'll probably get a copyright strike and then get kicked off YouTube.
Hey, I get one on almost every video. Bud Light tagged me for the last video when I played Real Men of Genius. I got tagged in that, and they took all that money. I'm like, you motherfuckers. You're going to need it, Bud Light. You're going to need it, Anheuser-Busch.
Jason Rivera says he's near Lakeline Mall. Just shoot me. If you're on Twitter, Jason, shoot me a DM. I'm nearby the domain, so it's not that. I just meet you somewhere on 183. In fact, I might go see a movie up at Lakeline Mall tomorrow. I want to go see Guardians of the Galaxy or George Foreman. I looked at going today, but all the show times were late today for some reason. Like 4 or 5. There was no 11 a.m.
No matinees?
12 p.m. There were no matinees today for whatever reason.
I just want to shout out Hector Gradilla. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It says, Brother Mass, respect. Is it too much to ask for a shout out as motivation? Really appreciate it. Yeah, man, whatever it's going to take to keep your head in the game. Whatever it takes. Don't get psyched out. Yeah. Doug says, you buy this car or I'll put your head through the hood. Yeah, all those lines, geez. Some of those one-liners were absolutely amazing that they were able to do that off the fly. God. A lot of people are saying they're going to see George Foreman this weekend. I saw some of the estimates for Guardians. Have you seen the latest numbers, T, of the estimates, what they think we're going to get?
I did not look at estimates. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes. It had like 78% critic review and like 99% audience review.
Really?
Favorable. Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. on
That is good.
Rotten Tomatoes. Yes, if the audience is down, we're usually good. Usually,
If the audience is close to 100%, then I have hope.
me too. Me too.
But we'll see how it is over the weekend. I want to go see it this weekend. I'm going to see both in the next 3 days. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the movies this weekend too.
And I will go.
I have stubs I got to use before they expire, so I got to go.
I'm gonna spend an obscene amount of money on concessions just for you guys.
Yes, me too. Me too. Yeah, I just got a notification actually when I went to send you the email from AMC Stubs saying I have to use my points before I think the end of this month. So I'm gonna crank it up and go see. I'm gonna go see Mission Impossible definitely in a couple weeks. Right, that's out in 2 weeks, I think. The release date.
Cannot wait.
I definitely want to see the. Yeah, no, me neither. That's what I'm really excited for. That, and I know they dropped the trailer for Dune 2 last night. I haven't watched it yet. I am waiting to get some vegetable plant in my blood system before I watch it, just because I'm very excited to see how Dune 2 looks.
You know what I realized today? I was for whatever reason reading about the Flash, because I guess the Flash is coming up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Ezra Miller.
I realized today that I am very derelict on watching anything in the DC series. I have not seen Wonder Woman. I've not seen any movie that Flash is in. Can you believe that? Like, I didn't even know.
So it would only be Justice League that he would have been in. I'm pretty sure.
He was in 2 previous movies.
Yeah. Okay. It's Justice League and one of the other singled out, either Batman or someone.
I did not watch Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, I maybe because I heard that they were too woke, or maybe just they put out shit movies, but I have not seen any of those. I will go see The Flash, but I guess I got to stream the first 2 and even, catch up. What the hell is going on?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The last couple of DC releases, being Joker and that being, Morris's, what's his name there? The director, Todd Phillips' Joker, right? With Joaquin Phoenix, and the last Batman with, what's his name there? Robert Pattinson. Very good, right? You saw that,
I didn't
right?
see Joker.
You didn't see Joker in the theater. Neither did I. You saw Batman though, right?
I saw Batman. Don't remember it, but
it was the Dark Detective one. Remember with and Lenny Kravitz's daughter was the Catwoman. Zoe Kravitz.
Might not have seen it.
No, you definitely did, T. We talked about it.
All
yeah,
right.
definitely you saw it.
That was like a year ago, right? When we were talking about the bat signal. Yeah, I must have seen it.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
we said March.
We said Lenny Kravitz's daughter is pretty hot.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, Catwoman. She was smoking hot in that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. DC's not. I mean, I know the Ezra Miller story. I get that, right?
I just learned all that today. I didn't even know anything about him.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's fucked.
What a hot
He's
mess.
fucked in the head. Yeah, big time. But they said the movie is awesome. So I don't know. Everybody is raving about the movie. It's the complete opposite of the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. But remember, and T, I'm going to keep saying this. That's the great thing about the movie theaters. We already have production and, plans for like the next like 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, these production companies are lining up projects for, 2027, 8, 9. They know the theaters aren't going anywhere. So I hope we all understand that these production houses are not going to start sinking billions of dollars into projects that are never going to show up on the screen. They just won't do it.
I'm not anti-woke. I'm anti film production companies putting out movies that aren't going to make $1 billion.
Yeah. When they should. Like Lightyear. Lightyear should have been a smash out of the park, $1 billion, right? Last 2 had done it, crossed it. They switched it up, took out Tim Allen because of his political beliefs, put in Chris Evans, put in, a gay cat. We barely broke, I think, 100 million.
My analysis is very black and white. If you want to make a woke movie, just make a woke movie like that one about the
bros.
Bros. Just make a bros. Yeah. But when they put in 1 or 2 scenes that right or wrong, prevents people from going to a movie, that upsets me because I'm about the dollars and the cents, baby. I could care about your politics. Uh, for me, I want to see these movies make $1 billion, and it pisses me off when people talk them down, and then it gets half the audience doesn't go see it. Pisses me off.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pissed that we haven't had a Star Wars film since 2019, and we're not going to get one for another 3 years. 7-year gap in the biggest IP that you spent $4 billion on. What's going on? What is going on with the head of Lucasfilm? Why is this woman, Kathleen Kennedy, what does she have on either Iger or Chapek or someone on the C-suite at Disney that they continue to let her run this thing into the fucking ground? I mean, it's insane that she keeps popping out every year, coming to these Comic-Cons, getting booed off the stage. And I mean, geez, not for nothing. And I enjoy seeing these companies get what they deserve. But when it comes to AMC in the theaters, man, just can you at least cut us a break with the movies? I don't care if you put things on every other product. Just leave the movie theaters alone. Can we just get back to basics and fundamentals with the movies? Watch what Mission Impossible will do. I think it will do probably just as good, if not better. Maybe not better than Top Gun, because Mission Impossible is not as iconic, I guess, of a movie, but it has a huge following. This is what, the fifth or sixth one. It might do 2 billion. You don't know. We don't know, right? Could. No one expected Super Mario to do 1.2. That's for sure. And
I
it's
don't know
still in the
why
theaters.
I don't know why I like the Mission Impossible series so much. I mean, it's not the best acting, but just the storylines, the stunts, the setting, the place of everything is so over the top that I just appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm really, really looking forward to this next one.
And knowing, seeing him do that stunt and all of the build up to that, all of the people there who he put his life in all of their hands, right? The guy with the motorcycle, the guy who built the ramp, the guy who put his parachute, packed it, and he took that jump just for the fans. I mean, he didn't have to do that, right? He definitely did not have to do that stunt. There's no way Tom Cruise has to do that stunt. No way. No way. They can get a easy body double for him, show a close up going up the ramp, a headshot, and then a long shot where you can't really see. But the fact that he did it, I think, will draw in even more people just to say, hey, man, I appreciate you risking your life to give me a 2-second shot of you flying off a motorcycle off a cliff. You know what I mean? Like, he
Yep.
risked his life for a 30-second movie clip. And, that will help AMC. Thanks, Tom. That's all I'm going to say. And he was right about SSRIs, too.
I heard I watched a video. Someone was talking about, it was Samir, these YouTubers, Samir and somebody. They were interviewing the Tom Cruise AI guy. The one that changes his face with Tom Cruise, and he's been doing all these.
Mm-hmm.
They were interviewing him. He actually does kind of look like Tom Cruise, but I heard them say something which I never thought about. The dude that plays Tom Cruise in all those YouTube videos, he said, "Do you know that Tom Cruise has never done a commercial, never done a TV show, never done anything except the movies?" I never realized that.
He's never done anything besides movies.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, what was like one of his first roles? Like Outsiders?
I think back to Risky Business. I don't know which one was first.
Good question. Cocktail's still one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was a good one. He's always
I love Cocktail.
been good on-screen presence.
Yeah.
Fucking,
oh my God.
Fucking born with charisma. I hate those people.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Some of us are born with
Very
charisma.
envious, right?
Some of us are just born assholes. 10 grit.
Mm-hmm. Like Keenan Grace, man. Keenan Grace has crazy charisma. Guys, just on top of it. Let's see here. From Outsider to Jack Reacher. Outsider might have been his first movie, T. 18 years old. Tom Cruise, IMDb. Let's see. First movie.
What year was that? 80s?
I'm trying to see here. So he's been in 46 movies. Wow. If you run down Tom Cruise's movies, holy shit.
You
All
want
right.
to
So his first, what?
look when you're done, look how many movies Nicolas Cage has been in. It's like 180. What
Oh
was
my
his
God.
first
Yeah.
one?
Because he has a lot of, okay. So first movie was Endless Love in 81. Then he was in Taps, which was about, I
Taps.
believe, the
Yeah.
military.
Yeah.
Yep. 81 as well. Losing It in 82, never heard of it. And then 83 hours, and also 83 Risky Business. Yep.
Okay.
And All the Right Moves. Shit. 3 of those in 83. Outsiders, Risky Business, All the Right Moves. And then he did Legend, which was an awesome cult classic. And then Top Gun. Young Guns. He was in Young Guns?
Trevor says Indiana Jones 2 June 29th hopefully hits 2 billion. That'd be a dream fucking come true. I hope so.
Just remember, guys, this is Kathleen Kennedy and this is Lucasfilm. So more than likely, they're going to kill off Indiana Jones. Just be prepared. Just be prepared. I'm telling you, it's coming right now. I have heard. Listen, John Williams, the guy who writes the scores, he let the cat out of the bag last fall when he was doing a concert in Italy. He said he had just had to fly back to LA because they were changing the ending of the Indiana Jones movie, and he had to redo the score. So and he didn't mean to say that. He wasn't supposed to say that, but he let it slip during a live concert. And so that basically verified what everyone's fears were. Unless because of the backlash, they had him come in and they changed the ending. I don't know how it did in test scores. They said, Lucasfilm said they didn't do any test screenings for people to comment on. So technically, as of this point, I guess no one has seen it besides, people at Lucasfilm, but they haven't had any test screenings. But John Williams did let it out of the bag last year that he had to go back to redo the score for the ending of Indiana Jones. What that means, I don't know.
I'm looking at pictures from Taps 1981. I know I saw the movie, but I don't think I've seen it since 1981. I don't even remember what this movie's about.
David Shawn. It's about the military cadets take extreme measures to ensure the future of their academy when its existence is threatened by local condo developers. That sounds like a riveting screenplay.
Wolverines.
What the?
Oh, that's the wrong
That
movie.
is weird.
Remember Red Dawn?
Yes, of course.
Wolverines.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to
Red
look
Dawn.
up Taps. Sounds like a nail biter. Oh boy, the evil condo developers against Tom Cruise.
Do you know that the CIA still uses Red Dawn in Russian?
No.
T, look at this list of movies. Young Guns, Cocktail, Color of Money, Rain Man, Born on the 4th of July, Days of Thunder, Far and Away, Few Good Men, The Firm, Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire, Eyes Wide Shut, Mission Impossible 2, Minority Report, Vanilla Sky, The Last Samurai, Collateral, War of the Worlds, Impossible 3, Tropic Thunder, Valkyrie, which was an awesome movie. Valkyrie was intense. Yeah. Ghost Protocol, Rock of Ages, Jack Reacher, Oblivion, Edge of Tomorrow, Rogue Nation, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, The Mummy, Jesus, Mission Impossible Fallout, and Top Gun Maverick. 46 films, no TV.
And almost all of those were excellent movies. Except I think he was miscast in Reacher. If you've seen the TV show Reacher, I think that actor would have been a better one in the movie.
I have it on Netflix. Is it good? I heard good things about it.
I think so.
D, did you know that Mission Impossible is a 2-part? Dead Reckoning Part 1 is 2023 and Part 2 is 2024. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Me neither. So Mission Impossible is in production right now. Part 2, Dead Reckoning, and it will be out to June 28th. So that's great news. There's already a sequel lined up for. I guess this is probably going to be like Dune, right? Where they stopped at like a random point, and then they'll pick it up in the second movie, right? I didn't know it was 2 movies. Holy crap! So we're gonna get another movie, Mission Impossible, next summer.
Good. I hope
Part
this
2,
one does great.
Dead
I
Reckoning.
hope it's a good cliffhanger.
Me too. There's also another. Did you see Day After Tomorrow?
Day After Tomorrow. What's the plot on that one? Yeah, I've seen it. I'm trying to
Uh,
remember who is in it. Is that Tom Cruise?
he yeah, he keeps getting up the same morning, and they go into this battle, these aliens, and
That's the one
every
where they
day
drop
he
out of
gets
the
killed.
thing. They
Yes,
drop
yes,
out of the
yes.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he keeps having to replay the same thing, and he tells them people what's gonna happen ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they're doing a sequel to that too, called Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat. I guess they're gonna show the battle that, remember, because the chick in that was like she was like the kick-ass girl, remember? She was called like the Angel of the Psalm or Angel of the Marne, wherever they fought that first battle. I forget what she was called. The Angel or something like that. But that invasion that day, that movie happened. Remember, she was the one who had just led them to the last victory, that assault that they had that you never saw in the movie. So that would be cool to see. I think that would be interesting. That girl who played the chick in that is awesome as an actress. I love her. Really good.
Angelina, what is your son going to do in the Air Force? And tell him we said thank you.
Yeah, and congratulations.
Broke Ape, I do remember Jester from the original Top Gun. He was a good character.
Juicy Got You Crazy says, isn't Taps about the Broadway dancers and shit? I thought that it was. I thought there was a movie with either, not Richard Pryor, but
You're thinking of
about,
the one with Mikhail Baryshnikov.
what's that called?
I forget.
Okay.
Was that one
Someone
called
said
Taps too?
it might have been. Let me see. I'm starting to up. Man, I didn't know that their Mission Impossible, that's two entries. That's great. June 28th, 2024. Nice. Let me see. Taps. '81.
Oh, that was was that White Knights? No.
Oh, it's amazing how many movies either have tap or taps in it.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
It was
including
called White
short films.
Knights. I think that's what you're thinking of, with Gregory Hines and Mikhail Baryshnikov.
Gregory Hines,
Not
that was it.
Not Richard Pryor, Gregory Hines.
Yeah,
Close
Gregory Hines.
lookalike, but
Thank you. Thank you. That's a long time ago, too.
it was
81, I was a
19
little boy.
Yeah.
I still had an LBC haircut. Oh, man. Mimics. Thank you, Lima. Yeah, the Mimics. Does anyone remember what the girl's name was that was the kick-ass chick in that movie? What was her name? Yeah, Lucy got her. Damn, I can't remember what her name is now. Yeah, everyone's got Gregory Hines. But whatever happened to him?
I don't know. Doug is asking, was City short AMC? Unfortunately, we'll never know because shorts aren't reported. It is kind of irritating, though, isn't it, Massalorian? That I wonder, what kind of deals, what kind of restrictions are put on someone that is working with AMC? Like if Citigroup knew in February 2022 that all this was playing out in August, do they have any restrictions not to trade, not to take a derivative position? Or are they allowed to use? It seems like that would be insider knowledge, and that
insider information.
It would seem
Yes.
to me like they would not be able to trade on any of that information. The other thing that happens, guys, I just learned more about this, and of course, people break this rule all the time. But they're, in fact, I think Virtu is getting sued for it right now. These what they call information walls. You're supposed to have an information wall between your investment banking unit and your trading unit. So if the investment bankers, the Citigroup, were working with AMC, they should not have been passing that info on to the trading unit. If they were, that would be a violation of SEC regulations.
True. Okay. I thought that was correct. But yeah,
And
that would make sense, right?
but they do it, and that's why Virtu is in trouble right now for doing that years ago. Their information systems or whatever. People fucking talk. I mean, let's be real, right? Even if there were information walls, the dudes still meet at the same bar. They still sleep with the same hooker, and she tells them what the guy before said. The shit slips out. I'm sorry. You can't trust anybody these days. Them high dollar hookers, Massalorian, you got to watch out for those in New York. Don't ever tell them your
Always,
secrets.
buddy. Always. That's why I stay on the bus. Stay on the bus. Leslie, thank you. It was Emily Blunt I was looking for. That was the kick-ass chick that was in the Day After Tomorrow. Is that what it was called? Edge of Tomorrow. It's not Day After Tomorrow. Day After Tomorrow was with Jake Gyllenhaal
Angelina
and
said
Randy Quaid.
Gregory Hines died of liver cancer in 2003.
2000.
Oh, shit. R.I.P., my friend.
Liver cancer, yeah. Feed says, have some puts on City that turned green today. Jacques Prescott, Born on the 4th of July. Good movie. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Born on the 4th of July. That was Cruise, right? Did I list that off? I don't remember saying that. Yeah, Emily Blunt's character was named Rita, but they had a name for her. Like she was called whatever the battle was. I can't remember what. And it was an actual World War I battle where supposedly it took place. Help me out, chat. Verdun, thank you. Verdun. Thanks, Lima. The Angel of Verdun. That's her. Magnetic Renaissance says, do you anticipate popcorn or credit card to bring higher revenues for AMC? I personally have no idea. Yeah, absolutely, Magnetic. But I mean, we're having some issues. We have people in the chat who saying they can't find popcorn. But Tony's saying that he's found it to be either very limited or gone every time he's gone to look at it, right, T?
Yeah, I mean they've got to ramp up production to meet the overwhelming demand. So what we really need is some insight onto what is the production capacity. Because if they can only if they can only manufacture 10,000 units a week, that is limiting your sales. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say how much we could make off of it until I have some idea. I need to see a report from the company. What is the sales throughput? We can come up with all sort of crazy estimates, and people are. I've seen people say we're going to make $1 billion on popcorn, but how are you going to make $1 billion if your production line's only putting out 10,000 units a week? And we did get some confirmation, Mass. I don't know if you heard this. The profit margin, according to Adam Aaron, is about 25% on a bag of popcorn. So $1 a bag times however many they can produce per week. That's your number, guys.
That's a good markup, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's healthy. I mean, there are people making predictions based on 80%. There's no way it's 80%, 25%, 30 maybe. But let's just figure rough numbers, conservative, $1 a bag. Now the only other missing number we need is how many are they producing per week? We know they're going to sell them all. How many are they producing? That's your revenue per week or per month. And I don't know the answer, but anything is better than zero, right? It's a new revenue stream. It's going to be big. Give it time, be patient. I'm going to be very conservative when I talk about popcorn. I'm not going to give you some crazy numbers. 2024, much more exciting to me. When we're in grocery stores, convenience stores, full production capacity, multiple lines, 3 shifts. the more confidence they have that they can sell it, they're gonna increase production. I sure would be. I'd be contracting
Pumping them
for
out as fast as
some
I can.
extra lines. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they will,
Yep.
and they will. But you don't go spend a bunch of money until you can prove that you have the sales.
Yeah, I'm sure they had to see like, okay, we're gonna do a limited run, maybe as they did, right? They opened it in only I think a quarter of the stores, and then we were supposed to be in all the stores by the end of the last month. So they probably
That
had a
that
limited run,
that's
right?
how we did it. I've developed a manufacturing and sales plan for many global products, not in grocery, but we always had a ramp, and it never met demand on day one. But you got to prove out your process, and so I imagine that food production's probably about the same way. They'll get
Yeah.
there, guys. I
And
mean, give them a few months. Our ramp was like 4 months to full production. Popcorn's way easier to manufacture than what I was building.
yeah, and if this is getting made in the United States, at least we're not dealing with overseas supply chain issues, right?
Yeah,
So that's a good thing, right?
I'm not going to judge them on running out of product in the first 30 days, but give them
No,
give
no, no,
them
no, no.
give them a few months. Just be patient. It'll be fine.
Yeah. We don't know what's gonna happen before then, but at least we know they're not going anywhere. Um, see if I can put this up. Desktop.
What do you think the markup is on a $40 popcorn tin, Massalorian? I know a lot of people are expecting big revenues from merchandise. Not me. I'll just give
What?
you a hint. What do you think the markup
Say
is
that
on
one
a
more time.
what do you think the markup or the profit margin is on uh, a $40 popcorn tin?
Oh my god, a $40 popcorn tin?
Like the
I mean,
Guardians of
they
the
can't put.
Galaxy ones, like 40, $50.
Yeah, they can't put more than what 5, 6, maybe less. 4.
$4?
Ca- How much can it be for popped corn
No, like
in a
if you buy a
tin?
collector's item popcorn tin, like I've got the Top Gun one here. That I think it probably cost me $30. I'm thinking AMC maybe made $6 on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. I got you. I got you. Okay,
$5
I
maybe.
thought
I
you
mean,
meant like
you
at a
got
store.
you got production, you got shipping, you got licensing. There's a lot of costs that go into that. So
Yeah, licensing is a big one,
I
right?
don't I don't even
It's
really
putting Guardians of the Galaxy on
for
it.
me, the money we make from merchandise, it's a plus, but I don't really count it as much. You can see revenue other on the income statement. We're not killing it on revenue other. It's an afterthought. It's better than zero, but you're never going to hear me talking about merchandise as a major contributor to AMC's income. It's a nice adder.
Yes, it's a nice add-on. Yeah, something we weren't even expecting, right?
It's better than nothing, for sure.
Yeah, and it's what we asked for. It's
Yep.
what we asked for as retail. We said that was one of the best ideas that I think retail came up with to help AMC get out of
The
this mess was the brand power of the biggest popcorn movie chain in the world. Put it to use, get it on
multiple
shelves.
revenue,
People can bring it. Yeah, yep,
multiple revenue streams. Like if you get 10 of those streams going of different sources of revenue, merchandise, uh, popcorn, credit cards, each one adds a little bit collectively, as they build out multiple revenue sources, that starts becoming meaningful.
yes,
It's better
yes,
than doing nothing. It's better than being a Radio Shack and getting, crushed into oblivion by becoming obsolescent, a blockbuster. They're trying. They're fucking trying. And I applaud that.
yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Did you see my advertisement tee that's up on the screen? The
I
hat.
saw it. What
So now what I'm doing is I'm going to give everyone an extra 2 more letters and 1 number for free. Actually, it would be a penny less than what Lou's charging, and
Is
you'll
that
get
go fuck your March 3rd?
yes, yes, yeah. Go fuck your March 3rd. Because he's got the go fuck your mother hats for $34.99. I'm going to give you the number 3 and an R and a D for a penny less.
I would buy one of those from you, Massalorian.
It looks good on Lou. That's for damn sure. Hell yeah, Lou. He wears the shit out of that thing. Oh boy, I should make them one day. I probably will. Just to, start giving them out to maybe super chats or some super thanks. I should make them. I bet they fly off the shelf. I can't believe he's selling a half for $35 and a mug for what $29.99. The man who would never sell his soul for merch. God, I don't got T-shirts, Tupperware, no cups until 2023.
Not a YouTuber.
Not a YouTuber. That's right. As Jackson says, vaporized. God. March 3rd. We don't have a March 3rd, Joey. We definitely don't have any connections with Gary Gensler and his implementation of certain SEC rulings years in advance.
We got no transparency.
Right. Ever.
But Lou was right. Because he
Ape?
said Ape was going to go down. I'll give him that. Like we miscalled that one.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not too proud to own up to my mistakes, but he will never talk about any of his mistakes.
No,
just move on to the next distraction.
Didn't you just say that Al erased his entire video catalog again?
I don't know. Can someone independently verify that? That's what I was told.
Can anyone independently verify that for Mass and Tony, please? Robot Godzilla and My Ginsla. He did call those. My Ginsla is definitely friends with Lou. That's for sure. And he put way too much faith in Gary Gensler. God damn. Did you see? Oh, T, I have, so there's a clip I have of Huzanga. I think it's Huzanga, who's the head of the House committee that sat down with Gensler for 4 hours last week. You know how they totally tore him apart. Did you see that?
No.
So last week,
I saw them tear Gensler apart, but I haven't seen the other clip you're talking about.
So before they sit down, somehow the cameras at C-SPAN or whoever was picking up the feed showed Huizenga, who is the chair, and Gensler talking before the whole thing. And I'm working on dubbing in some audio for what they would be saying before he actually goes and sits down to testify. Should be pretty funny. So just stay posted.
I'm going to rip you one just so you know, okay? You good with that? All right, just play along.
It looks like that's what they're talking about. I'm not even kidding. That's like exactly the road I'm going down with this.
We got to make this look believable, Gary.
Yeah. Just give it to me. Give it to
I'll buy you a steak dinner afterwards.
I will squirm in my seat as much as possible. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. Like, I just want to say, like, oh yeah, I have to go back to my constituents, and I can't give them any more bullshit about commodities. If Ethereum's a commodity or a, what were they debating over? Whether it was a commodity or, oh shit, what were they debating over? The big question was Ethereum. What are they? What is it? What is it technically? Is it a commodity or?
Oh, but man, you agreed that Bitcoin was a commodity, did you not? So is Ethereum a commodity?
You would think so.
THX says Al has 18 videos.
18 total videos.
I think he had more than 18 today. Yesterday.
He probably has. Froggy went off the rails the other day, huh? 29 videos in 7 hours.
I don't know. No comment.
He's a mad worker. Robot Godzilla, he was right about that, Joe.
I got 2 things for people that missed yesterday's live stream, last night's live stream. And since I haven't talked to you, I don't think that you probably know about this, but and I know you don't watch my live streams.
I'm asleep too.
I know you're a hardworking man.
Work in the morning, man.
There is a upcoming change in the Delaware legislature. All this talk that we're talking about APE and preferred shares and what AMC did. You know what they're proposing in the Delaware legislature? To allow all these companies to do reverse splits without shareholder approval.
No way.
Yes, it's going to be voted on this year. Chancellor already highlighting. I'm going to do a video on it this week. I got to go look up the bill. So all this complaining, I'm just telling you guys early, like as retail traders, we're about to get the screw that is turning on us in all these plays. You're about to get screwed twice as hard because you're not even going to know. You're not even going to see it coming.
All right, T, say
And
that one more time, just so I make sure I heard you correctly. Can you just say that one more time, please?
right now, when a company is getting low on cash or they're about to be delisted, they have to do a proxy statement and a shareholder meeting and a vote to approve a reverse split, right? So we know we're about to get screwed. Now, a lot of YouTubers will still ignore that and, tell you to still buy Mullen and Bed Bath & Beyond. But, money losing companies that are about to be delisted, and it's bullish to do a reverse split under those conditions. When you're losing, when your revenue's declining, I'm drawing a clear distinction here, right, between AMC. When your revenue is declining and you're sub $1, that's not a great situation to be in to reverse split. Very different than AMC when the revenue's increasing and we're not delisting because we're at 20 cents. But all of these companies need to do a reverse split and they need to get people to vote on them, and retail never shows up, and they can't a lot of times get the reverse split done. So, and they're complaining to Delaware about that, where all these companies are headquartered. So Delaware is pushing a bill through Congress to modify the law, the Delaware General Corporate Law, to allow them to reverse split without a shareholder vote.
Okay, so that would only apply to Delaware-based companies, or how? Okay.
Delaware, where companies are incorporated in Delaware, which is most of them.
A lot, right? Yeah.
Most, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll throw up the bat signal this week, and we'll start tracking that. But that's coming down the pipe. You guys
We
need to
gotta
be aware of
protest
that.
that. We gotta protest that. We can't let that happen.
We have no say in that. What say do we have in Delaware Assembly?
Who is bringing the bill to
I don't know, but I mean, if you live in Delaware and you voted those people in office, those are the people that are voting on it, and they're already in office. So what can we do? They're going to do what they want to do.
Right. This isn't a
We're
federal
fucked.
thing. Yeah, you're right. This isn't a federal thing.
The other thing that I talked about last night is it stumbled in my lap yesterday, Massalorian, and I haven't done a video, and I probably won't unless there's overwhelming demand. But it dropped in my lap finally after us complaining about this for a year. The case that set the precedent, lost by none other than Wes Christian.
Really?
Decades ago, suing the DTCC, starting off his lawsuit complaining about phantom shares, synthetics, rehypothecation, and FTDs. He went at the DTCC and he got spanked out of court. That is why he can't go sue anybody anymore. I think that this is bad news, but I think it's important for our viewers to know about it, that the precedent's already been set. They said, basically, if I could summarize, they said the DTCC, basically you can't sue them. Plus, what they are doing is sanctioned by the SEC. That was the court denied Mr. Christian based on those grounds. So,
now, remind me again, is the DTCC
they are the ones
government?
They're a self-regulatory organization. They're not a government agency, but they get their power from the SEC. And unfortunately, this is bad news for us, because if we can't go sue them, we're never going to know the synthetic count. They are the only ones that knows. And that's probably why Adam Aaron, he probably knows that about that lawsuit, the West Christian loss. That is why no one can go sue them. We're never going to get a real share count. And I have the
I
case
wonder what
number. I have the fucking briefs. I've got the denial, the dismissed with prejudice.
with prejudice. Wow. Okay, so the judge was pissed that he even
I
showed
don't
up in
I
his
don't
courtroom.
know
Pretty
that that
much.
means the judge was pissed, but Wes Christian lost. This was decades ago. So I'm calling a scam on anybody that's hiring Wes Christian and telling retail, we're going to get to the bottom of these synthetics, these naked shorts. I'm calling scam on all those CEOs. And if you want me to, I'll drop the goods, but I'm going to have death threats after I do that. So I don't know if I want to.
I'll take him if you don't want him. I'll put him out. I don't care. They can kill me. Wes Christian was one of the reasons why I've held this stock this whole time because of some of the interviews I've seen with him. Some of the things he said. Yeah, I based a lot of my perspective on some of these heavily shorted companies
it doesn't
on
mean
Wes
that
Christian says the lie of the land.
I know it doesn't mean that those things don't exist, right? Don't get it twisted what I'm saying. It just means we will never get the answer because we can't sue the DTCC. That case has already been lost decades ago. And so we're never going to know. I mean, I only say that so that you know the field that you're playing on. Get in early, get out early, take your profits and move on.
S Jackson says bye bye penny stocks. Yeah, that will help eliminate that problem, right? Pretty much. I mean, you're not going to have that. I mean, how many penny stocks are going to be able to last without being delisted? Actually, if they're allowed to reverse split now, I mean, so they'll never have to ask for a vote. They'll just completely cut out that part of the.
Yeah, I don't have the exact wording committed to memory. You're going back to the first issue I brought up about Delaware. It has to do with if you're not changing the number of shares, you can go ahead and reverse split. Reverse splits don't change the number of authorized shares; it just collapses them. But they mentioned the difficulty that corporations were having getting votes approved, and it is in the best interest of the corporation and shareholders to not be delisted, right? You don't want to go down to the OTC.
No.
And considering that it is in the best interest, we need to go ahead and change the law to make it easier for these companies to reverse split. That was the summary of the bill.
Wow. I mean, proceed with caution, I would say, after that passes on anything that you're putting your money in.
I'm going to send up the bat signal this weekend on that. And then we'll have to track it. I'll get the bill number and put it all out there for everybody, but this is coming. It's coming our way and it's not going to be pretty. If you're playing penny stocks and, companies that have no revenue, that are in the gutter on the verge of being delisted. I don't know why people are so excited about those stocks in the first place, but a lot of our audience is. So,
I know why. You want to know why? Because people out there tell them that this is going to $20, $30, $40, $80, $100. I won't cut my beard until it hits triple digits. I won't leave the country unless it hits 1,000. There's people out there telling other people, just hold. Don't worry. It's got a lot more room to play with. We've heard that a million times about these stocks. Scott says, what state that has us Joe Biden? That gave us Joe Biden. Rivlock, have a good night, man. Blessed earnings day to you all.
Plazic Noah says, what do you think about Project Popcorn? We talked about that earlier. I've got the document here. It's 71 pages. At the beginning of this live stream, we went through the plaintiff's brief and, we went through the defendant brief, and we have not, Massalorian was having some audio issues, so we didn't go through the plaintiff brief, but we are aware of Project Popcorn. We did a 10-minute talk on it about 30 minutes ago. We've theorized many times that AMC came up with this plan long before August of 2022, because there They were worried about running out of money, and that's exactly what happened. That's my thoughts on it. They did the financial analysis. They in their brief, the defendant brief, they said we're in the latest 10Q. They warned you they're going to run out of money by the end of 2023. It is a high risk of bankruptcy. That's in AMC's fucking 10Q, February 28th. You can find it. I'm not just here trying to scare people. I'm reading to you what the company's telling you. It is a risk, one not to ignore. So they knew that early 2022. They could look at the forecast of box office. They knew they needed to survive till 2024, 2025. And so they put a plan in motion to ensure that all shareholders did not go to zero. And that's how I'm going to call it. There's going to be, for every one Tony Denaro, there's going to be 40 YouTubers saying it was crime. They were trying to help their hedge fund buddies, trying to screw you out of a short squeeze. You can have that opinion, but I look at companies as very black and white, and companies want to survive, and they're going to do whatever they have to within legal boundaries to ensure they don't go bankrupt. It is unfortunate, but that's why you need to be looking at the financials of companies you get into and know that that potential is always there. If you're holding a company that is losing money and or has a high amount of debt, these are always risks. AMC was never about fundamentals, but at some point, if you don't get a squeeze, fundamentals come into play. Balance sheets matter.
And we got squeezes. We just didn't get a MOAS. We got a couple squeezes. We got a little squeeze in January. We got a little squeeze in June. But we didn't get a MOAS, right? Alpha to Omega says, so what are you saying, Mass? You don't believe in the squeeze? Alpha to Omega, I'm talking about the guys out there that are saying that, oh God, what are those? COSM and Clove and fucking all those shit stocks.
Zela, XELA, Boxed.
Right.
Man, I got a whole playlist of these pump and dump penny stocks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen what GME can do. I've seen what AMC can do. I've seen the backing they have from retail. I know how, excitement can move the price on these stocks. I don't see that with a lot of these other penny stocks that have no, that have terrible fundamentals. Terrible fundamentals. Angelina says in January I could have made 150K. Angelina, I hate I hate thinking back to what I could have had or what I did have that I let go by the wayside. Your boy, Roy Boy. You got that?
Roy, I bought some at $38, Roy. I thought we had a shot in 2021. Even until Thanksgiving, I still thought we had a shot. But once I saw the Fed raising rates, I know what that's going to do to the stock market. That sucked the wind out of everything. It changed everything, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not because of us, but because big money was not going to go into stocks. And the more they raise rates, the more big money is sitting on the side, buying treasuries, playing it safe. It's weird, and now we're at the whims of the high frequency traders. There's no big money trying to pile into risky plays.
Lucy said stimulus checks definitely helped. Yeah, I would agree with that. There definitely is a little bit something to that for sure. A lot of people took their stimmy money, right? And a lot of people still have their stimmy money in that. I still got some stimmy money in that. I didn't get a lot, but I wasn't one of those people who was getting $1,000 a week to stay home for unemployment. They were given regular state unemployment and then another $600 from the federal government. I wasn't making that. Yeah, Angelina, I'm not upset about it anymore either. I mean, I made my decision to say I was holding through no matter what, because everyone was at that time. I mean, I wasn't the only one that held through 60 and 70 all the way down. There was a lot of people who did that. I'm not the only YouTuber that did that. That was there back in, April of 2021 and still was there in August of 2021. I probably Should have made the safer play. Maybe I should have sold half my position when we reached those astronomical numbers. But I didn't do enough research, and I didn't know that Adam Aaron had those 20 million shares in his back pocket that morning. And that completely screwed me because I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't doing enough research before.
I'm going to share something with you guys that we talk about in our Discord a lot. One mistake that we made. Okay. I have 2 mistakes in the last 2 years, besides buying leaps on Royal Caribbean.
And Coinbase on opening day.
We
both did that.
I recovered my money on Coinbase by buying puts, so that's not a mistake. I mean, it was a mistake, but I was wise enough to get out of it and buy puts. Yeah. So I don't count that one. That was a learning moment, though. Don't fucking buy IPOs. But the other thing that we talk about, I'm just going to share this with you guys. We talk about this a lot, even 2 years later. When we're going to do better about paying attention when all of the executives and the board are selling. Remember back in June, May 2021? We're going to pay more attention to that. And I'm not going to just put the blinders on because retail is excited.
Yeah, that was my major downfall back in the spring of 2021, right?
I
was listening too much to other people.
I've learned
not
so
doing
much
my own
in the
research.
past couple of years. Retail excitement can't overcome fundamentals, and you should not ignore when everybody inside the corporation is selling. That ought to be a heads up to go ahead and at least take some money off the table. Live and learn, guys. I don't do a lot of short squeezes like this. Usually I'm just in it and out, but I got caught up in the same hype, thinking that we could push it a lot higher like GameStop back in mid 2021. And I had already made a bunch of money on the call options, so I wasn't really that concerned about my shares. But if I would have been more sage, knowing everything I know, watching all these fucking retail squeeze plays over the last 2 years, that would have been one more heads up that it's time to go ahead and get out. Because
Prometheus says, okay.
Because even if I loved the company, I could have waited a little bit and bought back cheaper.
Yep. That's not to sell. Yeah, I mean, I did what I said I was doing to my viewers at the time, Matt, right? That was what I was coming out and saying to you guys. I said I was going to hold through that position. People that I care about that invested in this because of me, I told to hold through. That didn't work out so great. So, but I'm not worried about it. I haven't lost anything yet because I haven't sold. Prometheus says there's been news articles put out in the last couple of months pertaining to that these Chinese IPOs were put out there by China to steal money from U.S. markets. That's totally possible, Prometheus. I wouldn't put it. Of course, I mean we're in an economic war with them right now. We're not in a hot war.
I call it Chinese money laundering.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean their real estate market was what got that economy booming for the last 10 years. It collapsed, in the last 2 years while we've been holding this stock, and I would definitely think that they took advantage of the U.S. markets by doing that. And I think T warned a lot of people back in the day that he was getting out of his Neo and some other talks. I think I don't remember if you had positions you were selling, T, or if you just weren't going to buy.
I had some Chinese stocks. That was one of my first videos about 2 years ago. Only not because of money laundering or illegality, but because of the Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act. All Chinese companies are still at risk of being delisted from the U.S. markets if they don't provide accounting to U.S. standards. So I need to do an update on that, Mass. It's been a while. It's been a few months, and I still hold no Chinese stocks. I sold all of them, haven't looked back. But I should go see where we're at on the HFACA Holding Foreign HF's Holding Foreign Company HFCAA.
Is that the right
Holding acronym? Foreign Companies Accountable Act.
Scott says, have shorts covered yet? Then what are we talking about? Yeah, well, I mean, look, we could catch a couple of them this week. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but they could be caught at the end of the week, this week in a bad position. You might see a little bump at the end of the week. I don't know. It's possible, though.
I see people asking about Cash App, saying that the earnings is after hours tomorrow. No, it's definitely in the morning. I'll be live at 7:30. I'll be live at 6:30 a.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern tomorrow. That's an hour before the call. Maybe we'll get an earnings drop before then, like the news, the PR. But whatever, it's in the morning. It's announced by the company as in the morning, and I'll be here in the morning live with you guys.
What's Stu saying? That Cash App is telling people that the
It's
earnings
after
report is
hours.
after hours? It usually is, guys. That could just be a misprint. I would. What?
Mass.
Yeah.
Why do you... People have been asking this question. I keep on seeing it go by. Why do you think that the call is in the morning tomorrow?
Oh, should we talk about I mean, I had some ideas, but I'm not talking about them tonight. I'll keep them to myself and dream about them. No. Tony's got I think the right answer. Honestly, I'm not gonna get you guys hyped up for no reason. No freaking way. Tell them what you think, T. I think you're right.
No, I'm not
okay.
tell them.
All right.
They don't want to know what I think.
We'll probably.
They don't want to know.
I think we'll find out why they did it in the morning. I think we'll know by the end of the day tomorrow. I have a feeling that we will. You don't think
Someone tagged me in a Wrench Capital video where he just said, and I could buy his argument as being very middle of the road and still logical. Like if they announce after hours, it's easy to manipulate the price after hours because of low volume.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. I hadn't thought of that, and maybe they want to experiment with what happens if you do it in the morning. Well, that's not my theory. That was Mr. Wrench.
Remember, I said to you earlier, I said, maybe it's possible that they have a good announcement and they want to see volume pump during the day, right? That they will have some news that comes out and they don't want it just to be in after hours when most normal people aren't trading, right?
Joey says you don't fire people on a Monday.
No, Sunday night only, especially
Friday,
for Disney.
Friday at 4 p.m. I've been through several mass layoffs at the company I used to work for when times were bad. Where we get rid of the bottom 10%. And it's not a laughing matter. I'm still laughing from his comment, but people I've known have fucking gone home and killed themselves on a Friday afternoon. Yeah. Pull the car in the garage, shut the door, leave the car on.
Yeah, if my internet doesn't start working, I'm going to do the same thing. So, Jesse,
it's rough. It's rough to fire people.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in that position. I've had to do it a couple times. It's not fun.
I've had to do it a lot.
Really? Yeah, it's not. It's so uncomfortable. God damn, I hate that. Especially when you're talking about taking food out of someone's mouth. You know what I mean?
I have no remorse when it's for a cause, like for theft or non-performance. But when it's just a 10% layoff because of the economy, that fucking sucks.
Yeah. And I'm not including all these bullshit jobs that they came up with in the last 5 years at these big tech companies. I'm not talking about those jobs. Those positions, those people that are getting let go, they are cutting the fat. That's it. It's plain and simple. If you don't have a purpose of bringing in capital to this company, you are on the chopping block. And it's just, it really is as simple as that right now, because as you can tell by the numbers and what we're seeing with the job reports, a lot of these companies are having to lay off tens of thousands of workers. These are multi-billion-dollar companies. We're talking about Disney, Netflix, Google, Amazon.
I have less remorse for them when you got a free spa and free yoga and free 3 meals a day and free Starbucks.
And fucking naps.
Yeah.
Naps.
I have less remorse for those tech companies that get layoffs.
Naps.
Like, I remember the company I was working for in the, I think it was early 90s. We had a little bit of a tech crunch, and they took away free coffee, Massalorian. And that was, you would have thought the world was ending.
I bet.
We're in trouble. They took away the free coffee. Like that was our only perk back in the early 90s. Now these guys got free everything. And I'm like, man, those companies are wasting money hand over fist. How about you cut back on all that shit?
Trim that fat. Yep.
Philip asked, is there one room in the Discord that I'm leading the conversation in? Philip, there's so many rooms because we have all the different tickers, entrepreneur, real estate, crypto. The VIP room is, that's the first place I check for people, that are in that category. And then I'm posting in whatever's happening that day. If it's one ticker, we have a room for penny stocks. We got a room for short plays because some people want to short stocks. There's not a lot of shorts in my Discord, but some people short things, not AMC. But other tickers that we're looking at that are short plays. We've got all sorts of different companies that people are bullish on. Each one has its own room. I flit from room to room. So no, I'm not leading the conversation in one, but if you tag me in something, then I will see it.
Lucy,
and we have a room for poker and yes, at nighttime we play poker.
Oh yeah, T, I forgot to tell you, last live stream that I did, someone, I forget who it was, who took you down last week in poker.
Broke Ape and Anya. Broke Ape and Anya. I was trying to read comments, Mass, and like the hand would come to my turn and I wouldn't even see it was my turn, and you got like a 15-second countdown, and then the fucking game automatically folds.
Oh, you're kidding.
So I just kept on fold just because I wasn't paying attention.
Oh God.
Didn't help that I was reading comments and drinking. I lost my ass.
Oh God. That's what I heard. I heard you lost your hat, and I said, Broke Abe came over and started bragging. I'm like, listen, I don't need T coming over here. I'll fight up in the comments. I don't need any.
It's not real. It's not real money. It's just for fun. We were already hanging out, having a conversation in the Discord. I was like, why don't we just play some poker and have a conversation? Like, it's Friday night or whatever night it was, Tuesday. Let's do something fun while we're talking this shit. So that's what we did.
All right, let's try to do that this weekend too. I mean, we got a lot of work ahead of us next couple of days. There's a lot of things we got to put out for info, but it would be nice if we could do something relaxing, at least like maybe a movie review night or something. I don't fucking know. Something. I got to get some booze in me this weekend. That's for sure.
You have to work tomorrow? No, you're off tomorrow, right? You're going to do live with me?
So I'm gonna come on with you a little bit in the morning, but I have big plans tomorrow night. I'm going into Boston, and I'm gonna do a bunch of like guerrilla interviews and go to all the college bars. I want to know what's really going on with Anheuser-Busch. I want to see. If Boston is protesting against this, then I can't imagine where it is how it is in the rest of the country. I want to try to make a play as a Bush.
I saw a Twitter video. All right, I got 2 comments on that. I saw a Twitter video where someone was at a stadium. I don't know which one. And like in one, you know how the stadiums, they've got like these dungeons where you walk up and you buy, I call it a dungeon, but you know what I'm talking about. It's under the stadium. Yep. And the Miller Lite section had a line with 40 people in it. And then the guy with the camera walked over to the Bud Light dungeon, and there was nobody in line, and all the inventory was full.
What event was it? What type of event?
It was at a stadium. I don't even know what game it was. What's playing right now?
I mean, basketball, NBA's on right now, playoffs, NHL.
It was not a hockey. It was like football or something. It was something outdoors.
Oh, maybe like USFL just started last weekend.
Fenway Park, Trevor says. Was it baseball then?
Oh, it's the Red Sox. Yeah, that's my stadium.
All right.
Really?
So I saw that. There was nobody in the Bud Light section. But then I also saw tweets with people trying to say, but Bud Light is only 1% of their overall sales. This is a afterthought to them. It's not a big deal. Massalorian, I don't really care to cover that whole topic because I don't want to get into politics on my channel. But whatever you find out about it, I'm very interested in the topic.
I want to make a play on it. I really do. But I gotta know what's going on, right? So the only way
Go
I'm gonna
go
know is
look
if I
into
get
the
on the ground. Yeah.
go look into the financial impact though. Like understand all the products this company has and what is really the dent? Is it a short play? Is it a put play? Is it too late? Can they recover financially? Because I want to know from a stock perspective what's going to happen. I don't if it truly is only 1% of their annual revenue, it's going to be an afterthought, right?
Are you really believe that Bud Light is 1% of Anheuser-Busch's total
It
sales?
was
I
a
can't I
tweet.
can't
It was a tweet. I haven't validated it.
yeah, that would
They
really shock me.
What I did read 2 weeks ago is the reason they hired that marketing lady, which she got suspended, right? You know that?
She
That
took a leave of
that
absence.
whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
The
They did
reason they
fire
hired
the other
her
guy though.
the reason they hired her is because they told her, according to her words, I read in an interview, if you don't turn this product around, we're going to have to cancel it.
She said it was a dying brand, right?
Yeah.
So then it should be 10 times worse with their protests going on. If there was already a dying brand and now no one's buying it, period, it's got to be really bad, which means they got inventory probably from months ago still sitting on the shelves. I mean, this has been going on almost 2 months now. What did I see the
What do you
latest
think if they
numbers?
made it like 99 cents a can? Would people buy it?
I saw that Walmart was giving away free women's underwear, booty shorts, if you bought a case of Bud Light. There was all kinds of shit. Target had sales, Sam's Clubs. They're doing anything to push it out right now. Hold on, let me see what the number is right now.
Someone asked me last night, do you drink Bud Light? I've always been a Miller Lite. If I'm drinking beer, hands down, it's Miller Lite. Because my uncle used to own a Miller Lite distributorship.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Support the family, Mass.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Plus, the
So a month
Bud
ago
Light
when this
just
started,
tastes like water to me.
yeah, it tastes like horse piss anyways, right? A year ago. So back on April, the first week in April when it started, the 6th, 4/6/2023, we were at 66.34 a share. And today we closed at what? 65.90. 65.90. So we're talking about a difference of 44 cents in the last 6 weeks. Down about 1% of sales. So I guess the number they're looking at right now is sales are down 26% overall in the last 6 weeks.
Of Bud
26%,
Light, right?
but that's a good question. I have to read the article. I mean,
Because
I don't
26% of
want to steer you
1%,
wrong.
26% of 1% is not much if it
It's
is
nothing.
1%.
It's nothing.
That's the investigative journalism you need to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm going into town tomorrow. I got to find out like how many kegs you have in your freezers. Like I was in that scene for like 15 years, so I know a lot of people at the steakhouses, a lot of the Lansdowne Street bars, which are behind Fenway Park, which is also Northeastern and BU crowd. Like if the BU Northeastern BC kids and MIT, Tufts, Harvard, if they're not drinking it, I don't know. If it really is only 26% of 1%, yeah, we're not talking about a lot of money, right? Um, but I find that so hard to believe. So hard to believe. I mean, Bud Light has got to be the most popular beer bottle on the planet, no? Or can.
Someone said
Maybe and draft too.
Miller Lite equals urine light. Yeah, there's nothing like really redeeming about Bud Light or Miller Lite. I would prefer a beer with taste, but I don't like the hoppy beers. My wife likes really hoppy beers. So that's why most of the time I'm drinking scotch or bourbon. Plus, if we're out on a night on the town, I could go through 6 Miller Lite or have 1.5 shots of bourbon and not have to be making trips to the bathroom every 30 minutes. You know what I mean, Mass? Plus calories and all that other shit.
All right, here I'm gonna go over this real quick, just so you guys can get an idea. The maker of Bud Light is going as backlash over a marketing campaign featuring blah, blah, blah. False. A spokesperson for AB. There's no truth to this claim. The world's largest beer maker is on the verge of financial ruin. Industry experts note the company remains financially sound with billions of dollars in assets and rising stock market price, which is all true. Sales of Bud Light have ebbed in recent weeks, but not in the drastic level claimed by online critics. All right, so this is from April 25th, 2023, so just about a week ago. And now the update 12 hours ago from Yahoo. We've never seen such a dramatic shift. Bud Light continues to plunge in sales, market share at a shocking rate. Two stocks that could gain from the big drop in business. This is the article. Let's see here. I'm going to try and look for a number. Let's see. Okay. The brand's controversial marketing collaboration, which ignited fierce reaction on social media, has apparently led to a dip in Bud Light store sales by an astonishing percent in the week ending April 22nd. Now, what does that mean? Dip in Bud Light stores. Does that mean bars, restaurants, clubs, bowling alleys, movie theaters? Or is that just
Walgreens,
package stores? Right. Or
Walgreens,
gas stations?
HEB.
What are we talking about? These
I
numbers
don't know.
seem weird to me. Very weird.
Massalorian, all I see is Twitter videos of every fucking store having full inventory. I haven't seen one where someone went in and said, look, all the Bud Light sold. There's no evidence that Bud Light is selling anywhere. Wouldn't you think, like, if you were a Bud Light advocate, you'd go into Walgreens and show that the shelves were empty? I haven't seen one of those videos.
100%. Where is TikTok? TikTok should be all over this. The Gen Z TikTokers should be like,
yeah, go hire some 21-year-olds.
Going nuts.
Go hire some 21-year-olds with floppy hair to show them drinking Bud Light.
I mean, if you guys don't know who your target audience is right now, I mean, I don't know. They're just totally missing the ball on this, I think. I just don't know if we can call it. That's why I got to get downtown tomorrow. I got to get downtown tomorrow and see what's really going on. If I walk in and see people at these bars drink, everyone with Bud Light bottles in their hands, I'm going to know that that's probably a good sign that Bud Light's going to be just fine. If I see in downtown Boston that Gen Z college kids that go to Harvard and BU and Northeastern are refusing to drink Bud Light for whatever reason, I don't really know what the reason is, but if I don't see it out and the bartenders are saying, we can't pour it on draft. We got, we got kegs and kegs sitting in the walk-in right now. Like, that's what I want to know, right? How many kegs have you gotten? Are you getting your normal shipments? Have you had to delay things? I want to get into all that. I want to know, like, how are the drafts doing? Are you guys, because usually you can go through a keg. Man, I remember when I was working at a steakhouse, we went through a keg of Bud Light. Easy over a weekend, we go through a keg. No problem.
Call some distributors.
I'm going to do that too. I'm working on this whole thing all weekend. I want to get some video, some audio.
You could save 50 trips to bars by calling 1-2 distributors in your local area and ask them the question.
I am. I know a lot of guys at Martinetti's, which is the big liquor distributor around here. They are one of the big beer distributors. But I want to get some footage, right? I want to be able to show people, look, no one's drinking Bud Light or everyone's drinking Bud Light. I want to be able to tell you what I find.
My uncle that was, he was a Miller distributor. He had a van, a white van, very plush inside, like, the full captain chairs and everything, a traveling van just for fun. And it was white and it had the Miller logo on the outside. And he had a fucking beer tap on the outside of the van and a keg refrigerator inside. That was like the bomb.
That's awesome.
Can you imagine that in the 80s? That was the mid 80s.
Tailgating with that?
That was so fucking cool. How do I get partnership on a beer distributorship?
Seriously. That must be awesome. Wow. That must be really cool. Yeah, I at some point I would like to get a kegerator for my house. Not for
There's YouTube videos of how to make one. You can buy like those small fridges.
Oh, really? Yeah. And they'll teach you how to make one? Yeah, and pressurize it.
And you can decorate them like I saw some pretty cool videos of what do you call that? steampunk your keg refrigerator
Yes.
and put it in your garage or your shop or your game room or whatever. There's some pretty cool videos of how to home make your own.
I'll have to look into that next time I move, which will be probably sooner than later. Joey says, I got a kegerator. It's great. Yeah, I would like to just get a real kegerator, right? That'd be cool. I like to have a real stainless steel, big handle.
We have a mini fridge just for drinks, but yeah, we just don't drink a whole lot of beer. So, I mean, kegerator would be a nice to have, but
my roommate does drink a lot of beer. A lot. He's got a little fridge right on the other side of the wall here that he keeps all his beer in. And he hasn't bought Bud Light since. He's been buying Narragansett and PBR and PBR and Narragansett.
I saw some in the chat, some Fat Tire fans. I love Fat Tire. Kirin beer. I don't buy it a lot, but that's a good beer. Do you guys like Fireman 4?
Never heard of it.
I don't know if that's a Texas specific beer or not. I remember asking a girl one time, do you want a Fireman 4? It was real loud at a club. She's like, what? I was like, Fireman 4. She's like, oh, I thought you said a fireman. Are you a fireman's whore?
That was a big mix up, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. Just trying to pull up a comment here.
What someone's asking, I saw someone said, what is TD's opinion on what? Alpha? You have to re-ask the question.
Give me a keg of beer. What movie is that? Juicy Got You Crazy is asking. Give me a keg of beer.
I feel like I almost feel like it's a song. Shock Top's good, Scott.
Yeah. Pumpkin Spice, Harpoon. Good stuff.
Maybe Massalorian this weekend. I do occasional beer tastings on this channel. We haven't done one in a few weeks. This might be a good weekend. If the earnings is good tomorrow, if AMC is good, I'll try and arrange a beer. The ladies keep on asking for a wine tasting.
Oh God. To get my wine etiquette back on, right? Back in the day.
But
I used to know my wines really well when I was at the steakhouse.
There's so many beers. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we could try a Boston. Maybe I can get a Texas beer, and
maybe we do a
Mass beer.
Two Boston versus 2 Texas. I already know we're going to lose. Well, Boston, I mean, we have Boston. Shiner Bock and we got Lone Star.
We have Harpoon, Sam Adams.
I don't know if I've had a Harpoon. I've definitely had Sam Adams.
Harpoon, Indian Pale Ale. Never.
Anya says wine tasting with Scarlett. She does. She likes some wine on occasion. She's on a Bailey's Irish cream kick right now that I can't get her off of. I keep on talking about calories, but she's like, it's just one glass, but the glass is like this big. I was like, that's not one serving though.
I'm having problems with that too, but with Dunkin' Donuts, because they got the Irish cream iced coffees right now, and they're probably so fattening. It's like ridiculous, I bet. Let's see. Harpoon, Redemption Rock. Yeah, I don't know a lot of these. I've never heard of some of these.
Was that the question, Alpha? Why is the earnings in the morning? Alpha says it's to get the buying pressure. Wrench Capital's theory was much better than mine. Mine was like so simple and logical that a lot of people are going to just hate if I say it. I told Massalorian before we got on the live stream what my thought was. I like Wrench Capital's idea.
That would be listen. I'd be fine with that. Yeah. You're not going to hear me complain if that's the case.
You want to hear? Do you want to hear mine? It's stupid.
No, I think you're probably right on the money, Tony.
No, I'm usually wrong, man. Usually wrong. Almost always wrong.
Get out of here.
Yeah, my stupid idea was somebody had a schedule conflict.
That is
Adam Aaron
could
had to be
very
on a
possibly
plane.
be it.
Adam Aaron had to be on a plane for a wedding or something, so we got to do it in the morning,
Uh,
guys.
I hope he's got some big meeting tomorrow that he's going to announce in the morning, like, "Hey, we're doing this in the morning because I'm going to meet with blah blah blah, and we're about to talk about this." And that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. There's a schedule snafu. I got to be in LA this afternoon because we're closing a deal with so and so, or I don't know, but that would be nice. I'd take that. I definitely wouldn't lift my nose up to that for sure.
I don't think that it's because of any stellar announcement. That's just
Oh,
we're whatever it is. I don't think it's because there's going to be a bomb dropped of good news, but I certainly hope that there's a bomb drop of good news. I'm just too jaded at this point.
Broke Ape. No, I wasn't a chef. I was a bartender at a few of the rather expensive steakhouses in downtown Boston, which like just came on the scene in the last 25 years. We had like real crappy food here before that. Boston was not really a culinary city, but about 20 years ago, we got when I got out of college, we got a bunch of steakhouses in the city. Roost Chris came, Morton's, Del Frisco's, Fleming's. Who else? Grill 23, Capital Grill. We had like at one point we had like 15, and in that industry, that would like follow my GM around because he would get put in different places, and or my bar manager would get put at a different steakhouse, and I just go with him. So I have a lot of people in that industry that I still know that still work in Boston. So hopefully they're going to give me some insight tomorrow night into what's going on. I'm hoping. But yeah, not a chef, just a bartender. So I had to know a lot about the big cabs and the super Tuscans, all those wines that go, excellent with red meat. That's what I had to learn all that.
All right, Massalorian, Super Tuscan or Red Zen? Which one? What do you
Oh my
guys
God.
think?
Super
Red
Tuscan.
Zinfandel or Super Tuscan?
I just don't, I can't think of a better wine that's ever gone into a bottle that hasn't come out of Tuscany. I mean, like Tianello, Sesacaya, anything that's like Antinori villages, anything that's in those super Tuscans, man. If you're having a prime steak, like a ribeye or a porterhouse, you just can't go wrong with. I mean, a glass of Tianello.
All right. I got Lucy says Malbec. Like I've got a lot of bad experiences with Malbec, Lucy. So message me your best Malbec brand, and I'll do a Red Zen Super Tuscan Malbec taste off.
Penfolds Malbec.
Penfolds.
I would recommend. Have you ever had Penfolds? Yeah.
Is it Australian?
No. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I have not tried it. It's probably because all the Malbecs I've had have been cheap Malbecs.
Yeah.
Because they're always at
They typically are.
They're at somebody's dinner party or something. That what, $6? Yeah, I gotta take that to the party.
Yeah. No. Anya knows her wines. Barolos, great wines. Yeah, absolutely. Anya. Yep. I had to know Barolos. Yeah. Oh man, I had to know them all back in the day. Because that was what these rich people ordered all the time. I mean, it was always they were getting a $300 bottle of wine with their $100 steaks, right? That's how it went.
Music Snob
Someone said, "Come on, guys, this is pretty gay."
Yeah, Massalorian, I'm Italian. I don't know about you, but wine runs in my blood. So
Greek, right in my blood, and I got a little Italian too, Sicilian. So yeah, it's all up in me.
I'm 90% a bourbon and Scotch guy, but you can't you can't be around Italians and not talk about wine every now and then.
Yeah, anyone pretty much from the Mediterranean region, especially, Italy, Sicily, Spain, Portugal's got ports. All that's a very known.
He wants to talk about he wants to talk about money. Ask a question. We're here for you guys. Somehow we got off on a tangent on drinks. We're coming up on
fucking
3
Dylan
hours.
Mulvaney.
We've been talking stocks for 3 fucking hours. What else y'all want to know?
Oh my God, it's 2:00. All right. Maybe this is getting gay. Maybe I'm just going to agree with music snobs so I can call it a night. Oh God. No wonder why they're alive so long. Good wine. No, Anya, I'm not even drinking. I got
No,
root
he said
beer.
no wonder, no wonder they live so long.
Yeah. People in the Mediterranean. Yeah, they do. Yeah. They have extraordinary long lives, especially the
Wine
Italian,
and
the Greeks.
wine and olive oil.
You know, the oldest living city or the oldest language or something is up in the mountains of Greece right now. I
I
forget if
didn't
it's
know
the
that.
oldest dialect that's still spoken. But like everybody in the town is like over, I want to say over 90 years old. That's all that's left in this town up in the mountains in Greece. I got to get there soon. Got to get there soon.
All right, we just crossed the 3-hour mark, Mass. I think we did our part.
I'm BT. Like I told you, I was up all night last night puking. So
If you want to know about the briefs that were filed this evening, go back to the very beginning of this video. We went over AMC's brief. Somewhere in the middle of this video, Massalorian started having audio issues, so we didn't get to go through the 70 pages of the plaintiff's brief. We did talk about Project Popcorn once he got his audio back on, and there'll be some additional coverage of it tomorrow. I'll put out a 5-minute video on each one, and I'm sure everybody else will be providing you a lot of other content on it. I'm just so sick of. I already know what the outcome of the lawsuit's going to be. Like it's just at this point, people are just talking to be talking, as far as I'm concerned.
we're talking to make
And
content.
I don't enjoy fighting, and I don't. I'm always the counterpoint, and no one agrees with me. But you know, I'll just be quiet for 60 days and do a March 3rd. Let's see if I get vaporized on June 30th or not.
Just do a July 3rd. That'll be
Yeah.
the last day the market's open, right before 4th of July weekend.
I'm just so over talking about it. Like we all know what the outcome's going to be. What's the point of fighting?
T, will you just do me a favor? Sometime tomorrow, can you just buy a hat so that you'll have it for the weekend?
The go fuck your mother,
March
go
3rd.
fuck your March 3rd. If you put
Yeah.
that up on your website, on your YouTube, I'll be the first to buy one. Yes.
I wonder how cheap I could get it for, just so I could show, like, all right, this is what he pays for this fucking thing. Now I'm going to give you another number and 2 more letters. We'll really slash the price. I think $38.99 is still too expensive. I just wanted to come in a penny under. All right, T, sounds good. Let's we got a lot of work to do anyways. I'm gonna get up with you in the morning for a little bit for
I will
the earnings call.
I'll see you guys, the early birds, in 6 hours, 5.5.
Yes, and thank you to my mods tonight, Tony's mods. I know Prometheus was here, Lucy, thank you, Pam, love you guys, appreciate you so much.
Anya, thank you. Pam,
yeah. Yep. Appreciate you guys taking care of the chat. Thanks for everyone who donated tonight. Appreciate you guys and everyone who just clicked in and stayed with us. You know, we appreciate the support that you guys are giving us. We know we're not the most popular YouTubers in the world. Not everyone agrees with everything we say, but we appreciate you guys, you know, having our back and continuing to support us, you know, through these rough times. I mean, the whole market's a mess right now, guys. The entire economy is a mess. It's not just AMC, right? It's every company right now is suffering heavily. So we need to turn this thing around. We're working towards that. And I don't put the idea that we can't squeeze again out of my head ever. You don't lose until you sell. All right. Phil, for real, damn, it's late. Phil, thank you, bro, for stopping by. Even though it's the last minute, we're about to sign off. We've been on for 3 hours, bro. I was hoping you would comment on my video. I'll reach out to you, Phil, this weekend, though. Yeah, T, you want to say goodnight to some people?
Yeah, same thing. Thank you to the mods for your efforts tonight, keeping the chat sane. Thank you to the members of the channel, subscribers, and to everybody, whether you hate me or not. I'm on your side. We all want the same thing. I understand. I approach it from maybe a counter the viewpoint that you get on every other channel, but just understand I'm coming at it from an educational financial statement. Just whatever happens in this play, I'm not just watching this play. I'm watching people get obliterated on plays every week. And I want to help everybody learn. That is, learn how not to keep making the same mistakes. So I'm going to keep talking about the financial statements, even though it's not popular. And thank you for those that want to learn about that. You're going to be here in the long run. You will find ways to make money by learning about that stuff. So thank you for your support. And for those that I make mad, it's nothing personal. I'm doing my best to educate and be fact-based, and it's really just that simple. And I get really angry at clickbait and things that can't be substantiated, or telling people that Mullen has great fundamentals. It makes me really mad. Makes me really angry that these people are Pied Pipering people into the ocean with their portfolio. And that's what I care about, not seeing people get obliterated time after time, listening to these people over and over and never holding them accountable for not providing DD, not talking about financial statements, never questioning them on all the plays they got wrong. And you keep following them. You keep buying them. It makes me sad. Makes me angry more than anything else.
Yeah, it's disappointing, right? That some people still be misled by assholes, but that is the world we live in right now. Phil, I just want to say real quick, Philly, thank you for letting me use your clip in my video the other day. Appreciate it, man. I needed someone to say that without me saying it. So thanks for letting me use that. Table Rock guy, we're about to just sign off right now. We just crossed the 3-hour mark, and me and T are going to be up in the morning to do the earnings call. So
we'll see y'all bright and early
right now.
Drink your water.
Yeah.
If you've been up,
Night, guys.
if you've been up having a few sips with us, I got like one sip left, Mass. Drink. I don't even have my water bottle here. It's by the bed. Drink a full fucking bottle of water tonight. You want to be hydrated and no hangover or headaches in the morning. We need you. We need all 8 cylinders firing, because it could be an interesting morning.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. We'll know in about 5 hours, right? Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you guys then. Love you guys. Appreciate y'all.
Have a good night.